All right. Looks like we are streaming, baby. Saturday night. My event is starting, theoretically. I dialed down the settings a little bit. Let me know if it's a little bit too potato, but we'll see. I'm also minus a light tonight. One of my lights just hemorrhaged and died and committed suicide. So we're a little dimmer than usual. But let's get down and dirty. Let me see if I can get down here. Get a little brief. Oh, there we go. Getting some video. Let's see if anybody's online tonight. Nobody yet. Just me talking to my cats. I don't even have any cats. But if I did, I would totally talk to them. I'll drink some water in the meantime. No, I'm not going for the 12-hour plus live stream record. I'm just going to do a reasonable amount of live streaming and then go watch a movie or something like that. I figured if I pushed it up to 8 o'clock, it'd be a little bit different. Last night, I worked a little late, and then I ran to Big Lots. Well, more on that shortly for the Big Lots excitement. Nice Laser Dreams in the house. What's up? And Seth also in the house. I should get cats. I had cats, but I moved out of my parents' house, and they retained the cats. Then I moved in with some other cats, but they weren't my cats, and then I moved out. So, sadly, I don't have a theatrical sound system. I just got a regular old home theater version. But yeah, maybe someday I'll get a Dolby decoder from some old theater from the 80s or something. But yeah, so I was out shopping, and then my wife's like, let's go grocery shopping and let's go get ice cream and stuff like that. And so yeah, you can't say no to ice cream. So I thought, well, let's do the live stream on a Saturday. Let's get wacky. I already did Friday. Let's go Saturday. I know, right? Seth should get some shut-eye. It's like, what, 3 a.m. in Sweden? I got a LaserDisc home theater's already dropping controversial comments that I have to unhide. Hey, Strictly Sega in the house. Nope, not late. Nothing really happened so far. Just talking some nonsense. Yeah, so hopefully you guys can see relatively okay. I'll get my light that just exploded on me replaced next week. And what else is going on? Yeah, what time is it in the UK? Actually, it's probably after 3 there, right? Oh no, it's 2. All right. It's 2 in Sweden, so that's not so bad. Yeah. Oh yeah, all right. I wasn't thinking. Yeah, it's probably like 1 something in the UK then, right? So, Melinda's in the house. Hello, Melinda. YouTube, getting that notification out there. Excellent. My favorite ice cream flavor is praline and dick. Actually, no. Any kind of chocolate variant, any kind of any of those like weird like combo things, with the caramel in there. I can rock some vanilla or vanilla bean if I have to. Mint chocolate chip, cookie dough, Oreo, any of that nonsense. Antonio's in the house. What's going on? Welcome to Saturday. Hopefully I'm not conflicting with Zaran Izrak's Saturday Night Madness or whatever he does. All right, it's only 1 a.m. Excellent. in the UK. Excellent. So that worked out. It's good timing then. Might be a little rough for my Australian buddies, but I don't know if they're quite awake yet. But that's what the replay is for. So anyways, hopefully everybody had a kick-ass week. What happened since last I talked? I avoided the whole May 4th thing because I'm one of those like May 25th guys. But I did enjoy one of my favorite YouTubers, Oral Knots, dropped a new Kylo Ren video. They, if you haven't seen them, their first like kind of video that got everyone's attention was a Star Wars clip minus John Williams. So it was them, recreating the audio of the throne room sequence from the end of Star Wars, just without any music, and just how awkward it is. Nobody's talking, people are just nodding, and R2D2 is just making clanking noises and stuff. And they ended up doing a whole bunch of recuts, kind of Bad Liberating-esque recuts of the first 6 Star Wars films, and then rewrote it basically so that the Jedi are a bunch of like heroin junkies, and the Empire is just like a family-friendly entertainment empire. And it's a bunch of hot nonsense. But what they've been doing with the new series is they've turned Kylo Ren into a YouTuber. So he does reaction videos for Star Wars trailers and unboxing videos, sorts of stuff like that. So they did a really good Kylo unboxing video for Star Wars Day. But yes, 525.77 forever. Spencer's in the house, right? But yeah, so did I hit the cinemas? I don't think I didn't make it out for any of the Fathom events. I didn't go see Detective Pikachu yet. What have I been watching? Actually, I've been watching nonstop for a little while. Twin Peaks: The Return. What night did I start that? I'd probably started it maybe, yeah, because I had already been jonesing to watch another night of it last week. So I was like maybe four episodes in last week, and I finished it a couple days ago finally, and I'm kind of binging on the special features on that Blu-ray set, which I'll do a proper review of that because it's a really nice set. And yeah, I loved the new Twin Peaks, even though I agree with some of the people that were disappointed by some of the elements of it, and it definitely wasn't a redo of the original series or the vibe of the original series. It was its own kind of new branch. And but yeah, I mean, I loved it, and Dougie Jones is my boy. So yeah. What else is going on down here? Oh yeah, Queens I Want to Break Free Without Music is great. Yeah, there's a lot I love the Dancing in the Streets, David Bowie and Mick Jagger without music. It's them singing, but they're all kind of out of breath, and it's just all the Foley effects of their feet scuffing, and that's one of my favorites. Or I'll not do a bunch of other good videos like commercial spoofs and stuff, because they at least one of them came out of the commercial business and actually quit his job not too long ago. So they seem to take particular delight in making fun of goofy infomercials and things like that. So, but yeah, so all right, so we got one Australian in the house at least, so that's good. 8 a.m. Sunday mornings, perfect, good timing. So yeah, what did I watch anything other than Twin Peaks like crazy? Yeah, I put the sign back just for you, LaserDisc Home Theater. That's actually from my second year at Retro World. They, they give you a booth on the floor where you can just hang out and talk to people and stuff. So they put the name of the guest, hang it up so you can find out where the hell you're going when you go there, and then to let people know who you are. And they just leave them there, so I just steal them every year and take them home. So I've got one hanging at work in my cubicle, and then this one I just took home from last year. I figured, what the hell, I'll hang it up or something, but it'll work. I can just kind of prop it up like now. I did speaking of like decorations, I finally pulled the trigger on, I showed it on my Instagram. I don't know, it's probably my Facebook page because Instagram posts there, but I finally pulled the trigger and got a poster from my dad's one sheet that I conned him into giving me from 1979 for the Apocalypse Now release. And I've been pestering him forever to give it to me, and then when he did, I was dragging my heels on getting it going and threw it in a bag, and then finally I dragged it out, and I went and got one of those Michael's mega coupons last week and bought myself a nice $70 frame for next to nothing and hung it up downstairs. So next time you see a room tour proper, you'll see the Apocalypse Now poster. It's great though, because it's so drenched in deep red, because it's a sunset kind of picture, but it looks like Marlon Brando's sweaty face is just dripping with blood. So it was never one of my mom's favorites, so that's why it went away in the first place, and I was able to con my dad. Yes, I do have tons of pickups, so we're good on that front. LD pickups light this week because remember the last week when I was talking about this one guy that I bought stuff from on eBay and how his like store description was like a little sketchy. Well, sure enough, he within at the end of maybe the third day, he generated a tracking number, and that tracking number was generated for a damn good like number of days, and then I think it just hit a post office and got scanned like a day or two ago. So I'm fully expecting it to come like in a bubble wrap or a plastic bag with duct tape all over it. Rod Knox in the house. What's going on, man? Yeah, so I'm not expecting it to come in one piece. No Video 8 pickups. I'm saving all those for Bill. But speaking of which, next weekend, assuming that there's no death threats or anything of that nature, I'm assuming the Boston laser swap is still going on at Wiley's store up in Somerville. So I'm, knock on wood, still going up there. So I'm pretty much saving spare dough so I can blow it all at the store. And I don't know who's coming, who's bringing what. But I'm guessing there's going to be some cool stuff that I don't have yet that I want to pick up. So I did actually put the stops on a couple local smaller crappy lots that I was thinking about picking up, but I was like, yeah, no, I'll wait. I'll go hit that swap meet next week. So, Ryan's in the house. What's going on, Ryan? Welcome aboard. Oh, he just said hi to Peter, not to me. Oh no, now he said hi to me. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, now we got multiple Australians in the house. So we got all sorts of continents covered here. Nobody from Africa, I don't think. Anybody? No. Anybody from Asia? No? All right. So we're working on it. So I did end up getting a decent amount of stuff this week in Blu-ray form, and I got one DVD, and I got a couple CDs and a couple books, so we'll go old school. Wait a hot minute for a couple more people to hop on board. But it looks like we're streaming okay, so that's a good sign. So I watched, did I watch some documentaries or anything like that? I watched Game of Thrones, obviously, which was nice because the cinematography was bright enough that it could actually stream and be watchable. And I missed the Starbucks cup heard round the world. I didn't see that until after the fact. But, that happened. And was any other, must-see TV I saw? I don't know. Oh, yeah, I heard the big kind of thing of the week is I heard Moikey got some horrible diseases, and Peter was going to put up a fundraiser for him to help him get a sweet player. And then apparently there was AIDS talk, and then that was the end of with the thread about Moikey. So for those that don't know, Moikey gets space AIDS a lot, and we're never quite sure if that means it's like space herpes from Ice Pirates. It's a version of AIDS that you can catch in space that's space centric, or if it's just that it's related to the lack of space in his room for hanging up a projector. But one or the other, he's got space AIDS. Hopefully Moikey will show up. I haven't seen him yet. But I'm hoping to meet some cool people at the laser meetup next week. We shall see. I'll meet Bill at least, because he lives right around the block, so if he doesn't show up, that'll be pretty sad. And I don't know. I think Matt McLean from LDF will probably be there. I know he went last year. Steve Cascella from the Worcester area will probably be trucking in. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't heard him talking much about it, but either way, Wiley's store seems to have a decent amount of LDs, even though he was selling a bunch of them last night like a knucklehead. I'm like, stop selling all your LDs before I get in your store to buy your LDs. Not that I'm going to buy 1,000 of them, but, just stop it. Wait a week. Pump the brakes. But yeah, he's got apparently a pretty decent pile of stuff. Ah, nice. More UK visitors. Excellent. Wiley's got Wiley's like a king hipster. I love his photos. Every time I see him, he's got either a Wes Anderson sweatband on. I think the last time I saw him, he had lime green pants, some kind of burnt umber jacket, and something else. Oh, Steve's out. Is he did Did he get space aids like Moiki? Oh well, apparently something's going on behind the scenes that I don't know about. But yeah, Wiley's like, yeah, always got that crazy, interesting match of colors and, you know, old grandpa clothing and stuff like that. So cool. Yeah, I get to check out his hipster stuff. You know, maybe I'll buy some, like a Pan Am satchel or something from the 60s and use that to carry around my gear. But yeah, it'll be pretty cool. Anyways, I'll show you some of the stuff I got this week. Since I finished Twin Peaks, I finally grabbed these that I'd been seeing in the stores for a while and just kind of, like an idiot, just didn't buy, even though they started coming out with these a couple of years ago. But I got the Secret History of Twin Peaks Mark Frost book. This thing it's got this killer Obi strip. It's not really an Obi strip, but it just smells good. I don't know where this came from, but it's got the sick, like, kind of double-sided strip, and you know, the book itself looks like a badass book you'd get out of a library back in the day. And it's a quote-unquote novel, but all told through, you know, clips of... Yeah, sorry again if my video quality isn't the best. The white balance keeps moving around a little bit because I'm missing a light, but it's all, like, you know, case files and you know, letters and things like that. So it tells a bit of a tale through FBI files. But yeah, it's a gorgeous book. It's pretty thick. Normally it's like $30 or so, but I got it for, I forgot. There was one for like 12 on Amazon, but it seemed like from a sketchy seller. So I think I paid a couple dollars more and I got it in a day. So that was nice. And since I got that, I had to get Twin Peaks: The Final Dossier, which is a slimmer version, a sequel to that, but this is what picks up at the end of the return, or the third season. And this one I got for, I think, about $10 or $12. And again, same. I like how they consistently kept the Phobie design. This one, instead of trees and stuff, it's got this spatial galaxy action in there. But yeah, it's a sweet ass hardcover book, and I was glad to get this before they ended up doing like a soft cover reissue. Again, same thing with the FBI files. Tammy from Twin Peaks Season 3 is the kind of person compiling all this stuff, but it's done with each character and each location getting their own individual file, so it's a little more organized than the other one. And the other one was kind of intentionally a little more scattered, kind of like House of Leaves, but not as crazy. But yeah, I should have bought these a long ass time ago. But I'm a knucklehead. And I did have the soundtrack for The Return with all the Roadhouse music and everything. Yeah, I haven't even gotten a chance to start reading these either. So I'm looking forward to digging in. So once I'm done with the special features, because there's like ass tons of special features on the Blu-ray for The Return. Like the stuff on the final disc, it's like a 4-hour documentary about the making of it, which is really fascinating. You get to see David Lynch in his element and just really get a grip on how much he thinks everything through, every shot, every bit of character motion. So even if it looks like a bunch of nonsense to us, the viewer, like, it means something to him, and you can tell. Like, and he's very particular about it. And yeah, so I'm having a blast with that. I'm about maybe a third of the way through those special features, and then I think there's still a Comic-Con panel from one of the other discs I gotta check out. So then, yeah, so I finally grabbed the Score CD counterpart that Rhino put out, which does have some music stuff too. It's got one more Chromatics tune, the tune Saturday instrumental, which was cool because I was bummed that wasn't on the other disc. And it's got that sick American Woman remix that freaked me out the first time Bad Cooper was driving down a creepy road at night. So I grabbed that, and then came the big lots thing, and everybody was posting on 4K ADI, which is one of the groups I belong to. Shout outs to Peter, Sony Muse. There was a couple posts about how they're selling box sets, like Blu-ray box sets, for $5 a pop, particularly the Alien Anthology box. And Pete's in the house. What's up, Pete? Just in time. We're just about to start rocking some Blu-ray pickups. So the Alien Anthology box that I waited a while to get, but I think I dropped like close to $20 for like a new old stock Best Buy version that somebody was hustling on eBay. And so I got that, and now it's $5. And the Planet of the Apes reissue, where they kind of put the original series, they put all the 5 discs that I bought in the box set originally. Ryan did grab Alien. Yeah, I went back today to get Planet for Trevor, and I went to 3 big lots, as you'll find out, and they were all gone. And the one I told him I should have hidden it like under a pillow somewhere, but it was the Planet of the Apes. So they took the 5 discs and they put them together in one kind of large clamshell. So yeah, it's a bummer. But Lord Nomad Punk's in the house. What's up? So the only CD I ended up buying from Big Lots was stuff I already have for the most part, but it's the Rush Working Men CD, which is repackaged bits from Rush and Rio, R30, and the Snakes and Arrows Live. But it does have supposedly an unreleased version of One Little Victory from R30, and it's a nice little digipack. And I'm a Rush fan, so I'm an idiot for this kind of stuff, even if it's a little bit of a double dip. But then I grabbed a bunch of Blu-rays and one DVD, one sad DVD. I've watched the original Japanese Ringu like a number of times. When I don't know if it was LD sourced or whatever, but like when I heard that they were gonna do a remake, finally I pulled the trigger on a bootleg VHS dub of something, and I watched it that way. And then I bought what else after that? I bought, I want to say, a Japanese DVD, but eventually I got, when they repackaged them all in the States as like that Ring Anthology DVD, which is a really nice DVD set. It's got like Ring 2, both like Ring 2s, and then Ring 0, Bossa Day. And so I watched that a number of times. Cool stuff. I didn't get a chance to listen to Gunship yet because I suck. So I'll remember to do that tonight. I did get the link though, so I got to listen to that. But yeah, it's really good. Ring is a great film. And I don't have it on Blue, but I still have that DVD, which is nice. But yeah, so boom. What we got going on? Yeah, so I grabbed, because I just got it on LaserDisc. Why not get it on Blu-ray as well? The 2-disc ID4, which has the theatrical cut and the extended cut, newly restored for an encounter like never before. So it says. Still came with a slip, so that was nice. Let's see if I can poke it out. I'm guessing it was bundled with something because it had like this little bit of tape around the edges on both sides. Like it was either like a double pack at one point, or it was bundled with like, I don't know, something they give away for free. But I don't know. I didn't get whatever it came with originally, but still does the trick. Comes with the 2 double blue action. And because I had that, I had to get, which I still haven't seen because I skipped it in the theaters, Resurgence, which also I think had, maybe these guys were originally packaged together because this had the sticker stuff on the side too. As I drop it. And another double disc. Came with the codes, so I redeemed the crap out of those. And this is yeah, not really beloved by anybody, but I do collect Ridley Scott movies, and I hadn't seen it yet, so I had to grab. And plus, Cormac McCarthy wrote it, so it's gonna be a laugh riot. Oh yeah, Trust me, I skipped Resurgence for a reason. I'm sure it sucks. The big one. Um, yeah, I still haven't watched the extended cut yet either. I literally just got the Laserdisc like a week or two ago from Vinny, who's not here tonight. Where's Vinny? Maybe he'll show up later. So I've been, yeah, meaning to see it for decades, but I don't know. So now's my chance. I got 2 copies of it now. But yeah, so I grabbed the Counselor extended cut, and this has got, yeah, there's another double disc. It was cheap enough. Most of their stuff's either $3 or $5, depending. So they used to have like just about everything for $3. So now I kind of, yeah, pick and choose what I want if it's 5, because I mean that's on the edge where it's not a wicked cheap bargain anymore. But some things I'll pull the trigger for, like a Planet of the Apes box set for sure. Then I did double dip on this because I had the original Blu-ray release. But it's, yeah, Vinny is too cool for us, isn't he? That's stinker. But I grabbed the double disc X-Men Last Stand reissue just because I picked up X-Men and X2 recently. And I thought X-Men looked really good. I still haven't watched X2, but I figured this would be a better version than the one I originally picked up from the dawn of Blu-ray. What, a 4K remaster for Better Tomorrow? Damn. I'd be down for that. The original. Yeah, I do have the Blu-ray of this, the remake, which is such a different movie. It's weird. Oh, it's nice. Vincent is in Illinois, huh? Subliminal vibes in the house. And, yeah, you should totally get that 94 special edition, Peter. This one I was psyched. This was a $3 special, but classic Werner Herzog flick, Bad Lieutenant Protocol New Orleans, Nicolas Cage at his zaniest best. The breakdancing soul scene is like worth the price of admission alone. And yeah, I'd gotten like a digital screener to watch when it came out in theaters, but that was it. I never did pick it up on Blu-ray, so that was a delightful little find. And even though he didn't write it, Paul Schrader directed this one, and it's got Nick Cage and Willem Dafoe. So, like, dude, I totally got to grab it. It's called Dog Eat Dog. So, more Nick Cage in my life. They did have Season of the Witch for $3 too, but I drew the line at that. And there was another one called Rage, I think, which I never saw either. But yeah, Paul Schrader, I'll give him like the time of day. Any day of the week. And Spencer got The Counselor too. Yeah, I know. I was kind of wondering about that too. You haven't watched it yet though, huh? Oh, Ryan actually saw Dog Eat Dog. All right, cool. Nuts. Sounds good. Nice. Oh, Logan. Yeah. Pete was dropping some love for Logan. I've got that, obviously. Rage is not good. So I made the right choice getting Dog Eat Dog and not Rage. So yeah, sometimes my little sniffer works. Yeah, Season of the Witch I also did not pick up. Yeah, the Big Lots, like everyone's been excited this week because they're actually adding standees to their normal. They normally have this little kind of quad cube setup where they have stuff that comes in waves. They buy out, like obviously like Walmart stuff. I swear I've seen some Best Buy things and some Target-y things at times. But it kind of comes in waves. But lately, apparently, they've gotten so much new stuff that they've built these standees. And every store I went to all like 3 in the kind of greater Hartford area today, and they all had the standees. And so yeah, they have more than ever. It's been pretty good lately. But I've been going like pretty regularly for years, and yeah, they're pretty hit or miss. But Ryan's seen every Nick Cage movie. Damn, you should get a Boy Scout badge for that. Yeah, oh, yes. The original Bad Lieutenant is great too. I got the Laserdisc with the Schooly D song signifying rapper that got booted for the music from Kashmir, even though it wasn't like a sample of Kashmir, but it was just like a band playing Kashmir that he then sampled. But whatever. Yeah, intense stuff. I wasn't sure about Protocol, yeah, because it wasn't, yeah, different director, but then Werner Herzog's doing it, so I'm like, that's interesting. But slight video upgrade over the old single disc of X3, excellent, good to hear. Cut the big lots talk out. Mine got super trashed in the past day dude, when I went yesterday, like everything was pretty well ordered, and then I went back today, and I just picture this like Blu-ray hoarder, like super blob just running through, like throwing discs everywhere, because it was totally wrecked today. Everything was just in disarray, like piled up randomly. Someone must have just been hitting it hard. I still haven't seen First Reformed yet. Vinny, I know, loves it, so I'm sure I'll like it. And it's in 4:3, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, Big Lots doesn't have anything. Sorry, Ryan, I didn't mean to spoil it. I got these just in a dumpster down the street. Favorite Disney film, like animated, like cell stuff's probably still Beauty and the Beast. Like overall, Disney, like everything that's under their umbrella, yeah, that's tougher. But Disney, like non-CG animated cell animation's probably still Beauty and the Beast. Cue everyone's crazy cage laugh impression. Nice. I've not seen every Eric Roberts movie, so I'm not the one. Oh, Psycho Lavo's in the house. What is up? So then, much to everyone's dismay, I ended up grabbing the cheap Blu-ray 3D, Blu-ray DVD combo pack of nobody's favorite Spider-Man movie, The Amazing Spider-Man Dookie, and I didn't see it. So I think it's the one Spider-Man movie I haven't seen. And it's a decent one. I don't have a 3D projector or TV, but it came with the Blu-ray anyway, so who cares? And it's got that like double spindle here on this side, so I just threw the 3D version at the bottom and just kept the Blu-ray and the DVD on top. But it was cheap. It came with a cool clear case, so what the hell. I do have the Anchor Bay DVD of Better Tomorrow. When that came out, I actually waited for... There was a guy in my neck of the woods that was actually leading the charge for that to be reissued, because there was some audio glitches or like little bits missing from the initial release of A Better Tomorrow. So I actually waited for, like, even though I was going to go buy it the day it came out, I waited for the reissue to come out, and there was some sort of difference in the either the UPC or the spine number or something that you could tell which one was which. So I bought the Better Tomorrow and Better Tomorrow 2 Anchor Bays. Before that, I used to just rock VHS bootlegs from RIP, dubbed from LDs. There's a couple of guys I used to buy those from. One guy out in San Diego and somebody from like Cambridge, Mass. Or I probably know. It's probably Bill. And actually, he was in Cambridge, but Spencer's Pinocchio and 20,000 Leagues. Nice. Maybe The Black Hole. There you go. Yeah, I have seen the work in progress, Beauty and the Beast. I got it on LaserDisc up here somewhere. Yeah, it's really cool stuff. I was originally, I forgot if I think I bought it for my parents or something, the individual one, but then I got the one in the Japanese box set. All right, Peter says he digs Spider-Man 2, so I'm holding this one against you if I end up watching it and it ends up sucking. I have like people in one ear saying it's the worst thing ever, and then people in my other ear saying I should watch it. It's cool. And I watched the first Andrew Garfield one, and that was okay-ish, though it was weird. It was like too soon to see like a reboot, but whatever. Yeah. Oh, Spencer's looking for that one. Yeah, it's funny how much music rights issues there are with those Hong Kong movies. There's all that like Peter Gabriel and stuff, and in those Better Tomorrow cuts. That nobody cleared those rights. And Pete says it sucks. So there you go. Two Pete's. Peter B says it's good. Pete 1972 says it sucks. Seth saw it in IMAX 3D with dual 2K projectors. Looked awful. Oh yeah, Tron is pretty badass too. That's up there. That would probably trump Black Hole for me. Yeah, Black Hole was first, but Tron was my jam. And yeah, Homecoming was untouchable. I'm really looking forward to Far From Home. I'm sure everybody watched the trailer this week. Yeah, I still haven't watched the stupid It 2 trailer. I forgot about that. That was like the big thing the other day. But yeah, oh well. But yeah, I did watch the I did watch Far From Home trailer. That was good. I do not have The Great Mouse Detective on LD. What's up, Towns Jim? Oh, Pete went to go see Captain Marvel today. Yeah, you're right on top of the curve, man. So you saw that after Endgame. Well, it's kind of like a standalone, but it was 90s tastic, right? Even had a True Lies standee, more for VHS than anything, but 16:9 Street Fighter 2 arcade cap. No, I missed that. You have to go watch it again. Spencer's the weirdest for me is the repeated use of Wang Chung and To Live and Die in LA opening cue and Once a Thief over and over again, right? Yeah. Once a Thief I have on LD. That one I had a VHS boot too, but I finally stepped up to the real deal. Pete's still digging Spider-Man 1 and 2. The original Raimi, right? And 2 is a pretty badass flick too. First one was good too, but Homecoming's sick. And you get Trinity, like Blade Trinity, or Trinity, like the old Italian spaghetti western action. They call me Trinity, or there's probably a lot of Trinities out there. What is it? Snake and Eagle Shadow with the Death Star music. Yeah, why have someone compose new hot music for you when you can just rip it off? Psycho Lava's like Spider-Man 3. I like half of Spider-Man 3. There's some elements in there. I like the Sandman. That was pretty cool. The whole emo Peter Parker thing, and of course the dance numbers. Yeah, kind of lost me on that. Yeah, I might have been into Gwen Stacy in that. Yeah, so it has its moments. Like Venom, you could tell Sam Raimi didn't want to deal with Venom. It's like he's just in it. And the Atomic Bomb movie, yeah, that Trinity. That's funny. That ties in with Twin Peaks. Watching that, oh my god, the atomic bomb scene in Twin Peaks episode 8 was insane. But yeah, Raimi's Spider-Man 2 is good stuff. Speaking of sequels, yes, Follow the White Rabbit. Oh, John Jenkins is in the house. What's up? And, oh man, those old PlayStation games. I had the Spider-Man 2 PlayStation game. I used to play the crap out of that. But, yeah, I haven't gotten the PS4 ones. Tobey Maguire, I swear I saw him in something recently. But, LaserDisc Home Theater likes the Spider-Man ride at Universal Studios. Used to go over and over again with my son. You just, stay on the ride. Don't get out when they tell you to get out. So yeah, I got Hitman 3. I know there's a big combined set you can get for $12 at Best Buy or whatever, but I already had the others standalone, so I figured what the hell, I'd get this one. It was cheap. And comes with some promo nonsense. Nice. Beauty and the Beast, Homecoming, Cliff Burton. Nice. I'm definitely checking out that gun shop. No, Gunship. I'm watching that. Then I forget I grabbed, this is an older one, but they must have repackaged it at one point and to pimp one of the Planet of the Apes movies. But I forget I get Alex Proyas's iRobot. I saw this in the theaters for free, to review it, and then I haven't seen it since, but yeah, had its moments. And it came with that's a stupid eco pack. I gotta order a bunch of new non-eco cases so I can trash these. But it came inside with these weird little art cards for War for the Planet of the Apes. So I'm not sure what the deal is there, but I got a whole bunch of them. They're really super glossy and pretty badass looking. So I'm actually going to put these in, and they came with the Phobie strip. So I'm going to put these in my War for the Planet of the Apes Blu-ray. instead and do that. And this, oh man, I'm kind of almost bummed out I bought this because it sucks. But I didn't have this on Blue. Just I've got 2 copies on DVD because they ended up like putting out this version after the fact. I think this is the one that's like slightly longer, or maybe it's multiples. But Born Identity, I got actually I think I have them all on DVD. So except for Legacy and on Blu-ray. But it's Blu-ray plus DVD, except it's a stupid, even though it came from 2010, it's a stupid flipper. Like, who wanted that? So it's got a Blu-ray on one side and a DVD on the other. But, it was super cheap. New Godzilla trailer looked awesome or garbage? Yeah, I didn't watch that one either. I totally failed on the new Godzilla. I watched the original like teaser, I think, that came out. So, but yeah, whatever. What's everybody's? Everyone's talking Endgame. Yes, I still haven't gone to see it the second time yet. But sadly, I've been lame on getting out of the theaters. How's the anime going? I haven't picked up anything recently. I'm hoping to, though. It's been too long since I've gotten a nice box of goodies in the mail. Tobey Maguire is still hitching a ride somewhere in the Vegas desert. It's backcountry. You better watch out. Oh, dude, the Hitcher on Blu-ray. Sign me up for that. Like original flavor, for sure. Identity. I have Identity on. Born Identity. I thought you were talking about Identity, John Cusack movie. 4K is a crappy upscale. All right. Yeah. All right. I got the horrible flipper, so I'll throw it at a car when I get a replacement. Psycholabus got a Ghostbusters LD from a YouTuber. Nice. Japanese version. Sweet. There's a couple different. There's even like one that has like the Criterion Collection like imagery on the jacket, which is pretty interesting. Ultimatum's pretty badass. I just like the fact that it was like they kind of wrote it on the fly. Like, I thought that was cool. Like, be damned, writer strike. We're just gonna kind of make this thing up as we go, but it's still pretty tight. I am bringing it back, the essentials. I've been doing shed tons of research on it and writing it. Normally, like I mentioned on one of my other videos, I don't write anything usually ever. In fact, now it's like into the point where I just like I cringe when I hear reviewers on radio shows or like NPR or whatever reviewing a movie, because they're loaded up with the sickest adjectives and everything, and because it's all written, so it's like it just feels like I'm listening to a guy reading his review that he wrote where he's showing off. And so I try and be as casual as possible, but I don't like writing. And then for this kind of stuff, but I am writing for the LaserDisc Essentials stuff, so I'm doing some work on it. No, I haven't seen Shin Godzilla yet either, and that's one of those things that I should have bought on Blu-ray for like $12 and any number of times. And they had it theatrically too for a couple nights. I totally missed out on it, so totally gonna see it eventually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Japanese fake Criterion has the same extras. They did that with a couple things, because there's the Blade Runner release doesn't have the same Blade Runner cover art, but it has the Criterion extras on it. It doesn't have quite as good picture quality, but it's crazy. So you can totally just get the Japanese one if you want. I do love that that Ghostbusters release. Looks great, sounds great. I was thinking I hadn't seen the Bourne movies in a while either. It's when they came out. They seemed so essential, but I just kind of like consumed them and moved on. And it's been, Franca Potenta is in it. Like, she's badass. Like, totally gonna want to watch that again. So, I might do like a little trilogy, original trilogy watching. Bourne Classified Collection Blu-ray set. All right, I might have to grab that. 2014 Godzilla, I didn't mind it. I haven't seen it in a while. I saw it in the theaters, but it was okay. Didn't like kill me, but it wasn't bad. It was definitely one of the better American takes on Godzilla. That said, I have the 98 one on LaserDisc, but Photarians, yep. Did anybody watch Daisuke's live stream last night? I saw he's live streaming now too, so that's pretty cool. I think Vinny was prodding him to do it, but I didn't get to watch the whole thing yet. I'm going to check it out tonight. Yes. Anyways, moving right along, I also grabbed, Scott Cooper's Out of the Furnace. He always does those uplifting flicks. And this one was another $3. Eco pack junk, but whatevs. Christian Bale kicking ass. And I figured once I was on that kind of tip, I'd stick with corrupt cops and stuff and get The Place Beyond the Pines. Get some Gosling up in here. And Bradley Cooper. And Eva Mendes. So having other guys' flashbacks actually comes with the DVD and the Blu-ray. And Daisuke's the man. He is he's the dude. He just kind of like showed up on LDF one time and was just showing like random laserdiscs in his collection, and we're like, this guy's got a ton of killer Criterion stuff. And then he just turned into this Criterion YouTube monster. He's amazing. So I'm super happy his channel's doing well. Anything with Casey Affleck is excellent. What was the other one he was in with freaking Jessica Alba? That was brutal. What the hell? That was the name of that. That'll come to me. But anyways. And no, I don't think he who directed this one. It was Derek Cianfrance directed this one. And co-wrote it as well. But I've heard lots of good things about it. And it's got a bunch of stars on here, so you know it's good. I'd buy Lord of the Rings 4K. You know it. Ghostbusters, the younger generation knows the film for references and Ex Machina. I mean, Ghostbusters is like kind of hip again between that and Zombieland. There's a little bit of dent in here, but this is one of the steel books, those kind of pop art steel books that I have not seen that much at Big Lots. The Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels is the one you see a lot, and I picked that up a long time ago. But this one I did not have, so I had the DVD and got rid of it with the intent on picking it up on Blu-ray. So I figured I'd get some 8 Mile action. And there was just one of these at one of the stores, so I grabbed it. And I just kind of folded up the back slip thing. And I don't really kind of double or triple dip with a lot of things, but there's some flicks where Freddie's in the house. What's up, Freddie? Hey. Yeah, we missed you last week, but welcome aboard. Glad you can make it. Killer Inside Me. That's the one. That movie was intense. Holy crap. I haven't seen that in a while, but that was some good stuff. But sometimes I have to double dip with certain movies, and the artwork's kind of funky on this, and it's a DVD, but it's like so interesting looking, and it was in a white case, and it just had that look. Ridley Scott's Legend, one of my all-time favorites. I know Luke, if Luke's tuning in, he hates this movie, but I still need to get some of the Japanese LaserDisc imports of this sucker. But I've got the original DVD that came out here with that horrible kind of clear case that never quite matches up. It's got like artwork printed on the outside of the plastic that's supposed to line up with imagery inside, and it never quite does. But it's the director's cut, even though it's got the Jerry Goldsmith music, but it's got the Brian Ferry music video on there, so it's got a little bit of Tangerine on it. But I just had to get it just because legend, 8-Track Master's in the house as well. What's up? I'll definitely do some John Woo videos. Count me in. I'm down for that. So I got that horrible kind of director's cut DVD, and then I imported the Japanese Region 2 DVD with the as like a clear case, and some sick artwork, and that's got the theatrical cut from the international theatrical cut. All right, Trackmaster's watching some Ready Player One. Yeah, nice. Still wish someone else had directed that, but I'll still watch it again at the moment's notice. Yeah, that Tangerine Dream soundtrack is it's close to my heart. It's so good. I mean, you sound horrible like talking trash. You know, not like I'm talking trash about Jerry Goldsmith, but saying that you prefer something to a Jerry Goldsmith score. But Tangerine Dream is like I just like the fact that it kind of creates this mood, and that's kind of their vibe. They're not really scoring each individual moment, and Jerry Goldsmith is definitely like that. It's very schizophrenic, and it cuts from Mia Sara dancing, like frolicking in the forest, and then it cuts to the goblins, and it's all just like it just keeps going back and forth between these dynamics, and it's really heavy-handed at times. But the Tangerine Dream score is just, it just kind of has this overlaying mood going behind the scenes, and the darkness theme is too cool. They've got those like kind of pipes, like kind of, it's all synthesizers, but it's like pan flute kind of pipe stuff going on, and and I love the John Anderson song, and I totally love the Brian Ferry song. So Tangerine Dream soundtrack, that's where I'm at. And then I did pull the trigger and get one of these suckers because hold on, I gotta show another controversial. No, it wasn't a controversial Pete comment for once. See if I can get it going. Oh, let me go back down. I don't have the Criterion LD of the DVD of The Killer or the LD. Sadly, I've just got the LD of the Hong Kong release, and I've got tons of Killer copies on DVD, including who did it? Was it Fox Lorber released one? There's a Dragon Dynasty one I've got of Hard Boiled, I think. I don't know if I have one. No, I don't think I have one for The Killer, but I have the Taiwanese bootleg DVD with the long cut, The Killer too. But I really need to get the Criterion. I do have the Criterion Hard Boiled DVD, but I don't have the LD either. So I'm going to grab that. And what else we got going on? Woo time. It's always woo time up in here. But yeah, I'd love to do a little bit of a woo retrospective. Woo! And let's see. All right. Yes, all right, now I'm set up. And yeah, I grabbed the Alien Anthology just because my copy that I have glitched during Alien 3. This one may glitch as well. But it's a gorgeous set, and it was, in very nice condition because it's, brand new and sealed and tasty. If I can get it out of the slipcase. It's got this whole kind of book thing. It's not my favorite thing where it has the discs kind of crammed in against cardboard, but I can always take them out and throw them in cases. But yeah, my Alien 3 was, and I've heard people complaining about a lot of these glitching, so I figured if I have 2 copies, I'm probably good. I did end up buying the Alien Quadrilogy set at Best Buy, which has this disc anyway, so I do have another copy of it, but just in case, I figured I'd grab another one. And I did leave the Planet of the Apes box set behind just because I have the earlier box set, and I figured I don't need to hoard Planet of the Apes box sets, I guess. And I love that it's got the longer version of Wreckage and Rage. Big David Fincher fan. So yeah, and then it's got this kind of thing snotted on the back, and I did save the little hype sticker too. I could throw that in somewhere. But yeah, so that was it for pickups this week. No LDs as I mentioned, but I'm definitely going to rectify that next week with the LD swap up in Boston. Tim Curry's The Devil is the coolest. The Hobbit films. I trying to think if I've watched them again recently. It's like they're not as good as Lord of the Rings, obviously, but there's something about the kind of scope of them, and at least being able to revisit Middle Earth, seeing some familiar faces, and just the detail. There's obviously so much that I was kind of weighing whether or not Peter Jackson's self-indulgent moments were just a total waste of time, or if it was, I was kind of positing that maybe it's the kind of grown-up CGI version of a kid running around in a playground, and just kind of like being inventive and thinking up new things, and that's kind of the vibe I got from like things from the extended cuts, like the big cart chase from Battle of the Fine Armies. So, and obviously like the stuff in the Goblin, underground lair in the first film. But I can understand how that stuff would grow tiresome for some viewers, and obviously the barrel ride was pretty next level ridiculous in Desolation of Smaug. But still, like, I don't mind revisiting them, and it has been a little while, I think, since I've done all three of those. But then again, it's been a little while since I've done the original Lord of the Rings too. But they're not they're not up to the level of Lord of the Rings. But then that said, I don't mind watching them. I don't mind their existence, and I don't like pine away for the Guillermo del Toro version that never happened. They don't offend me, and I do enjoy the songs that they were able to get more like kind of song-like stuff going this time around. And now that I've seen a lot of the actors in other films, like I've kind of grown more used to seeing them. So I don't know. And then they added some new characters and caused a bunch of ruckus, and there's definitely some like Peter Jackson grossness in there too occasionally. So that's that's always fun. But I think I probably will need to reassess at some point. And now that there's this big Amazon show coming up, I'm intrigued how that's going to go down. But I was just talking about the 48 frames per second aspect of it, which I only saw one of the Hobbit films in 48 frames per second, and oh dear God, that was rough. So I do prefer watching them on Blu-ray where they actually look like a movie, as opposed to that high frame rate action, because that was nasty. But so I wouldn't necessarily recommend wholeheartedly to somebody especially somebody who's already a Tolkien fan. And speaking of which, has anybody seen the Tolkien movie? I haven't checked that out yet, but that was one of the things I wanted to go check that out. The Windstar DVDs. I think I got the Windstar DVD. But I do have the Dragon Dynasty. I think Hard Boiled, but I think I have a Windstar Killer. Hard Boiled and the Killer is so great it's hard to choose. Yeah, they are, but the Killer's my number one. I saw that first. I don't think, and I love the kind of just melancholy, emo Chian fat, like all like pained about what he's done, and the kind of sappy romantic aspect of it mixed with the action scenes, and just just the simple shootouts, like the one in his apartment, love it. And then the stuff on the beach that ends up leading to the hospital, love that. The opening stuff was killer, the nightclub stuff, and then the ending is just totally ridiculous. There's just a vibe about the Killer that I don't know. It's like Hard Boiled is pretty damn cool. But Killer always is probably gonna be my number one. Poor Jenny. She was just trying to sing some songs, and then Jeff had to come and mess it up for her. Killer definitely has more like kind of emotional pull, and and I know it's kind of cheesy and everything like that, but I'm down with it. Then again, I've always been a teenage girl at heart. That's what Luke was saying. Anybody that likes Legend is a teenage girl. And I saw Titanic like 8 times in the theater. So, and Macross was my favorite Favorite Robotech series. That was always how you knew if you were a man or not. If you were a man, your favorite Robotech series was the New Generation. But if you were a teenage girl, your favorite was Macross. So, yeah, the Goblin King song. That's crazy stuff, right? Like everybody was like wondering when Lord of the Rings came out, like how are they going to do the Tom Bombadil song? How are they going to mix the kind of vibe of this movie with the Tom Bombadil song? And the answer then was they're not. But the fact that he really kind of went for it with the songs was pretty cool in the Hobbit movies. What's going on with Wesley Snipes? Wesley Snipes was getting dickish. Yeah, whatever happened to I remember the Walter Hill Killer remake they were going to make for a while? Thank God that didn't happen. I mean, I love Walter Hill at times, but at least Legend didn't get an Elfman score. Yeah, for sure. Though, I'm a huge Oingo Boingo fan, so I do enjoy some Elfman stuff. But yeah, his vibe definitely did get played out for sure, and I do own a ton of Elfman scores and everything like that. But yeah, I'll take the Tangerine Dream over that for sure. Wesley Snipes was never in Hard Boiled. He is now, damn it. Yeah, right. Spending the time at Bilbo's house was like, and the fact that they were doing more songs and yeah, hanging out, and yeah, the beginning of Fellowship definitely was rushed. It was just like cut to here, we're cut to here, and then next thing you know, like this whole big like long kind of journey is over, and they're meeting Aragorn like. Like, whoa, like they just made that look like that was like getting debris was like a walk down the street, and like that was like quite the journey. Like so yeah, I love the fact that they were hanging out. They got to eat the food and do all the crazy stuff with the dishes, and then sing some songs, sing some like jolly songs, sing some more kind of deep spooky songs, smoke some pipes and stuff like that. I don't know, it was cool. Like everyone complained, I remember when it happened, that scene went on too long, but I was in for it. And sometimes I guess it's just all about the mood you're in. Like when I started watching Twin Peaks: The Return, it was the right time because I was totally in the mood for David Lynch nonsense, and I was like, it doesn't matter how long he takes to do this stuff. So, oh yeah, I totally love Peter Jackson's Heavenly Creatures. Love that. I probably told this story before, but just in case, when Heavenly Creatures, when I first saw it, I rented it I missed it when it came to my art house locally, and then I picked up the VHS. It was this like awesome period in the 90s when like catalog VHS titles at this place, Video Galaxy, this chain in my state, they would let you keep them for like 4 or 5 days or something like that, and they were ridiculously cheap. And there was like a good deal if you bought a bunch of them. So I would go in and buy like 4 or 5 movies at a clip. And yeah, I was a young single guy at the time and had plenty of time on my hands. So I was just chewing through all these movies that were on my list, like my got to see list, and Heavenly Creatures was on there. And that movie was just so intense and like emotionally, and I went to work the next day, and I remember like thinking like, why do I felt horrible like the entire day. Like I felt like everything was wrong, like I screwed up, like I was like that was it, like I was done for, I screwed up, I like there was no future, and I was like, what is going on? I was like, oh, like I watched that freaking movie yesterday. I watched Heavenly Creatures yesterday, and it sucked me in so much that I was like, my body and my brain reacted like I was complicit in the murders, and I was actually reacting like I had actually killed someone. And that's why I was like, well, I guess I'm going into the pokey, and that's it. I was my last day at work and stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, like my body is actually reacting as if I was part and parcel of this murder. And I was like, holy crap, like I had never like had such a difficult time shaking off a movie. And strangely, he did it again, that MFer, when I saw Lovely Bones. Like nobody really liked Lovely Bones. Like critics loved it before it came out. They were ready to give it an Oscar sight unseen, and then they saw it, much like Curious Case of Benjamin Button. They're just like, we have decided this is the important Oscar movie of the year, and then they're like, nope, second thought, we're done. But I did like a really early like critic screening of Lovely Bones, and that movie just freaking devastated me. Like it just crushed me. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, why am I reacting so intensely to these? Something about Peter Jackson, man. He's got some sort of mojo, man. But yeah, Heavenly Creatures was, and the kind of fantasy segments in that thing were killer, and Kate Winslet was great, and Melanie Linsky was great in it. Yeah, I picked it up on a Blu-ray not too long ago. I'm not sure it's a great copy, but I just wanted to have it. I never did pick up the LaserDisc, which I think also had like kind of moderate sound quality or video quality, but Hard Boiled and Boiling Point. That's the get out of here, stupid gnat. I don't know why I got gnat. That's where we were combining movies. Yeah, this rabbit sleigh ride was wacky. Yeah, that's the thing. There was like, I can't really, I guess, fault him for like going wackier, and especially because it's beyond Peter Jackson. He's kind of a wacky director. Yeah, so he did have these moments. It's kind of like when Sam Raimi does a movie like A Simple Plan. You're like, whoa, this is like pretty grown up and stuff for him. When you're used to like the wackier, nuttier stuff, and then even doing the Spider-Man movies, like he threw some pretty wacky, slapsticky stuff in the beginning of Spider-Man 2. So I guess I can't really resent Peter Jackson doing anything like that in the Hobbit movies, but yeah, and the Del Toro version would have been cool. I'd much rather have Del Toro eyes. I'd much rather have his At the Mountains of Madness adaptation that he's been promising, and then he said he didn't want to do after Prometheus came out because it kind of delved into some of the same like subject matter. But I don't think Prometheus would destroy the potential for a H.P. Lovecraft At the Mountains of Madness adaptation. I'd be all way up in that. So, Vinny just came to agree about The Killer. Nice. Yeah, The Killer. Man, the 90s, I was probably much like you. The like the movies that you had to show everybody, which was classic. Like, Evil Dead 2 was one. That was a little bit, no, it was around the same time, maybe a couple years earlier. Repo Man, probably when I was younger. Like anyone that came over, like, we gotta watch this movie, it's crazy. But yeah, as I got older, there was like those movies, The Killer, just about any HK flick actually, because I mean there was tons of Drunken Master 2 was up there for sure. But there was, oh man, Meet the Feebles was on that list. What was it? I know there's some other there. Oh, Akira. Like everyone had to watch Akira at some point. That was a mandatory. Army of Darkness, obviously. Evil Dead 2, leads right into that. And yeah, lots of Jet Li movies. Feng Sai Yak, New Legend of Shaolin. Then any other HK stuff like Iron Monkey. What else? Then like eventually like some Luc Besson movies like Bound Low 13 when that first came out, and I know I'm missing some like really obvious ones, but yeah, there's those movies where you're like, yeah, you got to see this, man. Let's see what we got going on. Wow, Seth's still awake. What's going on, man? You're gonna be feeling it tomorrow. Seth liked Lovely Bones. Excellent. I'm behind. Yeah, Stephen Fry in the is the mayor. Yeah, he was he was a character for sure. As was his right hand man. Oh yes, Reservoir Dogs. That was, yeah. Everyone had to watch Reservoir Dogs. That came over to my house for a while. That was one. House of Games. Wow, nice. That wasn't one of mine, but good one. I know. There's a few other, like, especially LDs. And one, it was just cool making people's heads explode when they'd see widescreen LDs for the first time. They're like, what is going on here? And some people would pick it up, like, right away. And some people would be like, why are there black bars? But why does it sound so good? Fellowship, yeah, right? Fellowship of the Ring with a sweet LaserDisc gatefold would have been amazing. Or a CAV box set, right? Imagine the extended cut. That would have been amazing. What else we got going on down here? Time to drink, Vinny. I'm talking about what's going on down here. Yeah, Lord of the Rings was. I'm glad I was able to see all those in the theater, and the only one extended cut I didn't get to see in the theater was Return of the King, but I did see the extended Fellowship and the extended Two Towers. The strange thing is, I think the extended Fellowship plays better. It actually feels shorter than the theatrical cut, which just because it takes its time a little bit more, and like by the time you get to the Lothlorien in the theatrical cut, it's just like I'm starting to get tired. My butt hurts. I want to pee. But the extended cut lets you sit in it a little bit more and steep in it. So I really vibed with that. I think it just flowed better. So remember that scene of the killer where Chang Fat accidentally shot that girl's eye out? Ouch. He made good though. He paid. He paid for his sins. What else we got going on now? Hard-boiled talk. Yes, everyone must watch Hard-boiled. And The Killer. And then A Better Tomorrow 1 and 2. And then if you want to get really depressed, watch Bullet in the Head. Then if you want to get more upbeat, then watch Once a Thief. But yeah, people are going to watch some Lovely Bones and some Heavenly Creatures. Nice. They're kind of kindred spirits, for sure. Lovely Bones also has these kind of like imaginative fantasy sequences, which is funny because the ones in Heavenly Creatures were pretty well lauded when it came out. Everyone's like, oh my god, these flights of fancy and everything. And everyone was jaded against Peter Jackson by the time... Oh, Moikey finally showed up. He showed up at the Blu-ray haul, which I showed everybody. Sorry, you missed the Blu-ray haul. Damn it. I'll show him again later, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, then years later, Lovely Bones has all these fantasy sequences, and everyone was kind of like burnt out on Peter Jackson and his imagination by that point. So they were like, stupid imaginative sequences just for him to show off CGI and everything like that. So it was just funny to see these different kind of approaches to like a very similar moment in both films. But yeah, that's what happens when you make like the biggest movies of all time. Everyone gets burnt out on your ass. All right, T1, T2, or Aliens? How do I rank those three? I'll probably go Aliens, T2, T1. I might change that later, but I'm sticking with it for now. Yeah, Aliens is it's probably my favorite out of the bunch. Love it, especially the long cut. I want those Century cannons, baby. That's all about those Century cannons. God of Gamblers, that's actually one of the ones I haven't watched. I watched Peace Hotel, like non-John Woo Chang and Fat flicks. I haven't seen Treasure Hunt. And I know I've seen some of the like the Prison on Fire flicks. City on Fire. I love City on Fire. That's great. But yeah, I haven't watched any of the God of Gamblers ones. So I got to check those out someday. Love me some Chow Yun Fat. I need to get Anna and the King on LaserDisc. So yeah, sorry Moiki, you missed some Blu-ray stuff. I could show you one if you want. What's your favorite Blu-ray? Maybe I have it. I probably don't. But I got the Alien Anthology box. I know you'll be like, big deal. But it's shiny. It's got holographic kind of goodness on it. Spencer's not allowed to show people things. Oh yeah, you start like tying them down, like Ludovico Experiment, Clockwork Orange, propping their eyes open, make them watch everything. I mean, back in the 90s, I was that guy. You know, I rented a house with a couple roommates, but I had my own kind of basement lair with shag carpeting, laserdisc player, surround sound, and like a music jam space in the back. And that was my hang. And we had people over all the time, and I was just like, you need to see this now. And everyone else who had already seen it was like, yeah, man, we're going downstairs. So sometimes it would just be something simple like Crimson Tide or something like that. But there's just those things. So it's like, we need to go in the basement, crank up the system, and watch this Laserdisc right now. Favorite HK film ever is tough because I could go John Woo or I could go, classic Bruce Lee, or I could go Jackie Chan, but it might be it. I mean, I love the old school stuff too, but it might just be a damn tie between The Killer and Drunken Master 2. probably the killer. Yeah, but Drunken Master 2 is so much fun. That's up there for sure. Yeah, I don't know. There's probably a couple of other runners up. It's like talking to a horror fanatic and they realize they haven't seen Night of the Demon. And you're like, you have to see Night of the Demon. Yeah, exactly. So now it's like the period when I was forbidden from playing the Kevin Bacon game, 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. And then like once people knew that I was forbidden from playing it, they'd always be like, come on, do one. So now I'm completely out of practice, and there's so many great new Kevin Bacon opportunities, but because I was forbidden from playing for so long, I've grown rusty, which obviously was their master plan. What else we got going? Oh, sorry, Mikey, you didn't get to see my Blu-rays. You can rewind. Yeah, I'll still be here. I wonder if LaserDisc Home Theater's still in the house. Sony Muse. That's his calling card. He'll show up. Let's see what's going on. Yeah. Vintage horror is awesome. Love 70s horror in particular, but yeah, 60s horror too, for sure. And beyond. Oh, Mikey's saying nice things to Ryan. Good deal. Oh, Full Contact. How did I forget Full Contact? Oh, man. Still remember, what was it? 98 or 99? Whatever New Year's Eve. A bunch of my buddies came over and we're like, we're going to watch HK flicks. And my other buddy came over and we're like, we're going to watch Spice World. And we're like, we're going to watch Spice World and a bunch of HK flicks. So everyone turned Spice World into a drinking game for some reason. Like, I don't know, anytime their bus showed up, someone had to take a drink or something. Then, yeah, we watched Full Contact and Hard Boiled and what else? At least one other. Until the Sun came up. Oh, I think Better Tomorrow 1 and 2. And everyone just loved Full Contact. There's this one scene that's just crazy. In Full Contact, like, I had to rewind it like 100 times when I first saw it, where he's in like a nightclub or whatever and just pushes this guy over a railing and he just like falls like on his back on like a rail, like on the stairs, and just like bounces off of that and then like flies off and just keeps tumbling down. Like, it was the most violent thing, like because it looked so real. Like there were no wires that I saw, and it didn't look hokey at all. It looked like we're just gonna really dangerously throw this guy like directly onto this railing and crush him. And I was like, what the hell did I just see? That movie is too cool. Yeah, it's so weird. Like, Chow Yun-Fat's got that kind of like punk cut there, and he's riding the motorcycle. And they were using like lots of extreme, like Get the Funk Out in there. And there was this techno band called T99, and they were using some of their stuff too. Fast and the Furious next door. It must be race night. But yeah, the T99 track was like the coolest, and they had that going on like during a lot of the nightclub, like, or the strip club scenes. But so many crazy ass lines in that too. Talking about like crabs in that girl's like bush and stuff. Man, yeah, that's a cool flick. And I got I want to get the Laserdisc sometime, but I have a VHS copy of the Laserdisc from one of my bootleg sources, and he was cool enough to throw all the extra scenes from, I think, the Taiwanese Laserdisc, which didn't have any subtitles at all, but he threw out at least all the extra violent scenes and everything on there for me. So Spencer's also City on Fire, anti-Reservoir Dogs. I mean, I get you, but I love Reservoir Dogs too much. That used to be my go-to, like, when I'm feeling bad kind of movie. Like if I was like in a bad mood or something like that, or like somewhat sick to my stomach or something. There's like certain things. Like when I was sick to my stomach, I would always listen to either this album Ema by BT or Metallica's bootleg from the Felt Forum from 1986. I don't know why, but those things would like totally chill me out. So yeah, if I was having like a horrible day, I'd come home and watch Reservoir Dogs, and it was like the ultimate pick me up. Like I could never be in a bad mood at the end of Reservoir Dogs, which is ridiculous sounding, but whatever. Ryan's about to watch another movie. Nice. You should watch something. We're going to choose one for you. You should watch First Reformed. There you go. You'll love it. Wiki actually was tempted to stop by Big Lots. And then he realized you don't have a player. You have a DVD player, though. You could get this sweet DVD of... Oh, wait, you don't have a DVD player either. All right, so you can't get this sweet DVD of Legend. Or you get this Blu-ray of 8 Mile on a Steelbook. Except I only saw one of them today, so you probably won't be able to get that either. But yeah, I got a big stack of them. Yeah, Freddie totally could have come over to the hangout pad. That place was my buddies, like all my college buddies, would come and hang out, and they would go. There was the guys that like from about an hour away, but they would still come out and hang out over the weekend, and we just have a blast. And then I'd end up like dubbing LaserDiscs for people too. I'd send them home with tapes and stuff like that of the Japanese cut of Army of Darkness and that sort of thing. So much fun. Favorite Japanese film? Yeah, Seven Samurais up there. Message from Space. Yeah, this is a classic. Yeah, it's. I'm trying to think of even just my favorite Kurosawa film, and that one fluctuates from time to time. I even love his 80s era stuff, Kagemusha, Ran, and Kagemusha. But Dreams is a particularly underrated one. I remember it getting kind of panned by critics when it came out, but I love me some Dreams. But overall, favorite Japanese flick? Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, I have to go for all those old Yakuza films. Was it some of those black and white ghost films that I loved? Like, what the hell is the name of the director that did all the good ghost films? His name escapes me at the moment. But, damn. Yeah, all right, I'm coming back to the favorite Japanese film. And it might just be a Kurosawa film, but I don't want to just speak to it. Or it could be, Audition. Could be some Miyake nonsense or something. It's not Ichi the Killer. But we'll see. Maybe it's Gunhead. Gunhead's my favorite Japanese film. It's not really, but it's badass. Then I have to think about all the anime films too, like Akira. Like what can top Akira? So that's a tough one. But live action, it's probably a Kurosawa flick. Seven Samurai is tough to beat. That movie's so badass. Hidden Fortress is a lot of fun. Rashomon's great, but anyway, it's not as much. Like it's a little heavier material, so it's not as much fun, quote unquote, as Seven Samurai. But I don't know. I'll come back to that one. Spencer was making middle schoolers watch Get Carter. Nice. Yeah, Rhonda actually likes Prometheus. I was thinking I need to rewatch Prometheus. It's been a little bit of time. I did see it in theaters. I just remember thinking about how gorgeous it was, and I just remember thinking, Ridley Scott's finally doing some science fiction. Like, why didn't he do any science fiction for so long? Like Black Rain's like a very kind of futuristic looking movie, but it's just he was doing too many dramas and needed to do some science fiction. So it was just gorgeous seeing all the special effects, or just like the stuff on the ship and everything like that was so nice. But I do want to revisit that. Maybe I'll watch Covenant too, and kind of go through it. But I am a sucker for The Martian, man. I watch The Martian like all the freaking time. I don't know what it is about that movie. And then I bought like multiple copies because I had the original Blu-ray, and then I had to get the 4K, which comes with the extended cut. And in fact, for Christmas, like the last work day of the year, we usually watch something at work, and it turned into like a much bigger thing this year. And like everybody, like up the food chain, that was in the office right before, like I guess must have been on Christmas Eve, was hanging out. And we were just like looking through my Vudu account for something to play, and like 3 or 4 people hadn't seen The Martian, and nobody went back to work. Like even like CEO was like like stepped out for 10 minutes to do a call and came back in the room. Like everybody was just 100% in on the Martian. I'm like, all right, maybe I'm onto something here. Favorite music LD is it's got to be a Metallica disc, or there's a couple because it's Ryuichi Sakamoto Beauty's up there. The Metallica Year and a Half in Life box set is way up there. In fact, I was bummed I didn't get a chance. I know I was saving money for the big LD swap next week, but Good Squid had the Sepultura LaserDisc earlier this week, and I probably should have gotten it. Yeah, I do love my Rush LDs, especially Show of Hands with the Lock and Key bonus track on there. I'm looking abstractly. I'm looking over at my music LDs. But yeah, I forgot. We already did this list, and the ultimate was Pink Floyd Pulse. Yeah, Pink Floyd Pulse takes it. But yeah, Metallica, any of my Metallica discs are awesome. And then, yeah, my YMO Hurrah disc, and then my Ryuichi Sakamoto Beauty disc. Oh, Dead Can Dance Toward the Within is on the list. Forgot we did this on the podcast one time. We did like top 5 music LDs. Yanni, live from the apocalypse at the Acropolis. Should be live at the Apocalypse. But yeah, Pink Floyd Pulse is just... That was one of the, like, I must show everybody discs too back in the day. Like, come on, man, if you like Pink Floyd, we gotta watch this. Oh, what's Melinda's favorite roommate? Oh, maybe I just have to scroll down. Yeah, I would totally play music LDs in my basement. It's funny because I was just telling this story the other day. I had this guy I worked with. It was great. He was going through a tough... I think this was before he got divorced, but he was kind of going through a tough time, and he like worked the loading dock at this insurance company that I worked at, and like we had a similar like kind of structure in management. So we had the same supervisor or like overall manager, and he would randomly, because he lived near enough to me, he would randomly show up at my door. So for some reason, he always knew when my roommates were gone. Like he'd show up at my door with a 6-pack, and I don't drink, and I didn't then. So it'd just be like, I bought a 6-pack. And I'm like, sure, yeah, knock yourself out, come on in. So we'd go down to my super cool bed, and he'd always ask to watch my Rush Exit Stage Left Japanese import disc. And he'd be like, you got that Rush LD? And I'm like, yeah. And he was like super paranoid, so he'd start like hitting the beers. We'd watch the Rush LD, and then sitting on my couch in the cool basement with the shag carpet in. And it'd always get like maybe like 10, 15 minutes in, or like maybe we'd get to like Xanadu or something, and then he'd all of a sudden start, like, he'd always look over his shoulder, and he'd say, like, I didn't really come to watch the Rush LD. I'm like, yeah, I kind of figured. You came to get it on. And then I took my no, I'm just kidding. And then he'd be like, talk about just like office stuff and how everybody's out to get him. But the hilarious thing is, like, the entire time he'd keep looking over his shoulder into the back of my room where like the drum set was and like the amps and everything. And he'd keep looking back, and I'm like, our boss isn't back there. Like, he was like hiding like Bob in like Twin Peaks, like kind of creeping around. Like, I'm pretty sure my boss is not in the back of my basement. You don't have to turn around every 3 minutes. So yeah, he'd always watch that Rush LD. Other music things, I used to also watch the 9 Inch Nails, the Closer, the bootleg, the kind of snuff film, back before he officially released it on DVD. Trent released that. The fans would buy these VHS taped copies, and I had that. I used to watch that. That was one of the, you got to see this videos too. You got to see the 9 Inch Nails video. Apocalypse Now. Dude, you had to see Apocalypse Now in surround sound too. That was another one. That was a basement classic. Yeah, you had to throw on the Doors, napalm going off and the helicopter swirling around and everything. Yeah, we had a blast there. Moikey asked, Prometheus worth watching? I would have definitely at least check it out. I mean, I would not necessarily go into it thinking this is the sequel to Alien. I'd kind of like check all your Alien expectations at the door and just kind of watch it as its own kind of sci-fi movie. And there's some, kind of goofy moments and some dumb characters and stuff. But yeah, I'd at least check it out once. Let's see. What else? Oh yeah, I gotta find out what Melinda's romantic comedy is. I'm moving down. Yeah, I don't know why the dude was so paranoid. It was weird because it's like he was just like that. He was always like thinking that everyone was like listening to him. Even at work, he was like a little twitchy, and he'd be like, "Yeah, like looking around." And I don't know, man. Maybe that's why he got divorced. I didn't ask too many questions, but he would like rinse and repeat. Like it'd be sorry, I was spitting water everywhere. It was like a couple months later, he'd come back and do the same thing. Hey, you got that Rush laser disc? And I'd be like, yeah, come on down, man. Man. Yeah, Spencer's talking Kurosawa too. Yeah, it's tough to top the Kurosawa. Yeah, how do you choose a Hitchcock? It's tough, but I choose Vertigo. Second would be North by Northwest. Third would probably be Psycho. Let's see what else we got going on down here. Yeah, Apocalypse Now and Atmos. I know. I'm intrigued to see if this final cut comes out in cinemas. Like, I'd like to see it in a newly fitted out theater and see what's going on. It used to be great just in Dolby Pro Logic decoded surround. I used to like, it had enough kind of like phantom steering thanks to the main channels to kind of fool your ears into thinking it was going, left to right or whatever behind you. So even before 5.1, it wasn't bad, man. That original Paramount letterboxed release was great. Let's see. Oh, Kubrick talk. Let's see. Pete and Spencer are going back and forth. All right, cool. Trying to catch up. I don't think I saw Melinda's romantic comedy yet. Damn it. Hopefully she will reveal all. But I'm intrigued about this final cut of Apocalypse Now. I was talking, my wife hasn't seen Apocalypse Now, so I'm like, now I need to make her watch that. And I'll probably make her watch the theatrical cut. That's my favorite. It does get a little episodic at the end. Like, it's like, here's the part where the people throw the spears at the boat. Here's the part where people throw frisbees at the boat. Like, here's the part where people throw stuffed animals at the boat. So that if I had any complaint, it was just like towards the latter end of the journey towards Kurtz's compound. It started to get a little bit just like kind of episodic. But other than that, yeah, I'm theatrical cut. Even though I was dying to see all the extra scenes back in the day when Film Threat released their big talk about the bootleg video that was 5 hours long or whatever, and had like all these grainy screen caps of it in the magazine. But once I got the redo, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But I still, prefer the theatrical. But supposedly the new final cut's gonna flow better, so we'll see. What was my favorite thing to buy at Spencer's Gifts? Mostly just I used to rock just T-shirts and stuff. I didn't buy the dildos usually. Yeah, Spencer's Gift was weird. It was like, it still is. Like, it's lots of T-shirts, and then sex toys and random kind of pop culture memorabilia, and then like lava lamps and lightning balls, and you never know like what kind of weird knickknacks you can find there. But yeah, mostly T-shirts. Nothing too exciting there. But all right, what else we got? Yeah, supposedly it's going to be in theaters, the new Apocalypse Now. But 3 hours of plantation footage. I know, right? That is rough. And I think Coppola, that's kind of what he was saying. The redo was like, yeah, we need to chill out on the the plantation footage. Yeah, extra stuff with the Playboy bunnies and stuff is pretty cool. Oh, I scrolled too fast. What are they? A Moment of Romance and Lost and Found. No, I don't think I've seen those. Nice. I will have to check those out. I have some romantic-esque... what was that Ronnie Yu Phantom of the Opera kind of... It was like the Phantom Lover or whatever. I like that one. It's kind of like spooky, romantic one. I like Chinese Ghost Story. That's got a little bit of a romance to it. And it's got that monk that's always like, Poya Poli me! And he's like throwing those, those spell, ribbons all over the place. That was great. And I had Sex and Zen. I had a bootleg of Sex and Zen because everybody had to get Sex and Zen. That was like the thing, like, oh my God, you got to see that. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll check that out. Oh yeah, Hardware. That was another movie I used to make everybody watch too. Love some Richard Stanley action. Yeah, so I'd be down for some nice 4K Apocalypse Now that I bought the Blu-ray set with all three cuts. But, we'll see what's going on. So what did you buy at Spencer Gifts, Mikey? Inquiring minds want to know. I was just reminiscing about some of the shops. I went to one of the old, one of the big lots I went to today was in one of the old dirt malls near the movie theater that used to be in East Hartford, Connecticut. And they used to have Paperback Booksmith, which was like my jam back in the day. It was like a bookstore, but it also had a vinyl section. So you could get Men at Work Cargo and then pick up like The Hobbit and then just have a great weekend. So I used to love that. And then Hobby Time used to be in there too. And Hobby Time had like RC cars, like the high-end RC cars. It had like Japanese, like Shogun Warrior imports and models, like crazy models, and role-playing games. It was like, between those two stores, it was like Nerd Central. It was great. It was like I spent so much money in there, or so much of my parents' money in there in the 80s. So it's so bittersweet going back to that dirt mall, and it's like nothing's there. And there was a Caldor, of course, in there too. What's my favorite submarine movie? I mean, Dust Boat is top notch. I know what yours is. But also enjoyed, obviously, Crimson Tide. U571 wasn't bad. I know the historians hate that one, but I was entertained by it. For horror stuff, Below. I haven't watched Below in a while. That's a good one. I have a friend that worked on a movie called Submerged, so I'd recommend checking that out if you like straight-to-video submarine movies. And what else? Am I missing any? Oh, Hunt for Red October, obviously. Duh. Oh, Rob's doing the, Movies at Melbourne Movie Market next Saturday. Yes. Enjoy the night. I probably was too late to the party to miss your departure, but have a good night in case you're still kicking around. Yeah, the making of Apocalypse Now documentary, Hearts of Darkness, is so good. I had to get the Blu-ray because I still don't have the LaserDisc. I rented the LaserDisc from a LaserDisc store or a VHS LaserDisc rental store in the 90s and watched it. I was like, dear God, this is amazing. So I bought the complete, trilogy Blu-ray, which has that in it as well. What else is going on? Red October. Nice. Oh, Farley's in the house. Nice. Just for you, Farley. I'm wearing my Overkill shirt. I was inspired because you were wearing one of the newer Overkill shirts in your video. So I was like, in case Farley tunes in, I gotta represent Overkill. This one's from 2013, though. It's a little bit older. But, yeah. Charlie's in the house. Let's see what else we got going. Yeah, Crimson Tide. Oh, Cinema Raiders. Nice. Yeah, I know Moiki loves U571 because you bought the LD finally, didn't you? Did you spend tons of money on it or beach level money on it, or are you still looking for that? Yeah, Crimson Tide was cool because I remember the trailer for it coming out, and the trailer didn't look good, and it was like one of those difficult movies because I actually have the early script, that's just very technical and dry, and it's got the same characters and stuff, but it doesn't really have much punch to it. And then that was a movie that everyone and their mother was, including famously Quentin Tarantino, was secretly punching up in the dark. And then I remember the first trailer, I'm like, that looks stupid. And then the second trailer came out, I was like, that looks amazing. Give me that movie. Take my money. And I went with a bunch of buddies. Opening night, we went to go see it, and everyone loved it. We had a great time. Of course, had to pick up the LaserDisc immediately. Watched it a lot in the cool pad, the shag pad. And in fact, that was one of my buddies who would come over. That was his go-to. He's like, we need to watch Crimson Tide now. And then that was the first thing, and then we could watch something else after that. Run Silent, Run Deep. Nice. Enemy Below. Action in the North Atlantic. All right, Spencer's throwing down some vintage sub action. Yeah, I'll even watch down Periscope if I have to, or something to that effect. Or there's also some good submarine action in 1941. Yeah, got some prune juice pooping going on. Ice Station Zebra's got some sub action. Yep, down Periscope. Trevor. He knows the score. Yeah, Das Boot is classic. I've got both of the LaserDiscs. Unfortunately, I've got I think the second one with the longer cut. I think that's the one I've got that's got a little bit of rot. But the earlier theatrical one I've got that is actually rot free. So, but the jacket's like mint. So maybe I'll find like a rot free version of the second Das Boot release and just swap out the discs or whatever. Oh yeah, K-19 the Widowmaker. Saw that in the theater. Yeah, Harrison Ford. Good stuff. Oh yeah, so Moikey's still looking for U571. So if anybody's got U571 on LD, sell it to Moikey for cheap, and he'll appreciate it. Let's see. Oh, there's a new miniseries version of Das Boot. That's meant to be bad. Uh oh. Interesting. Yeah, I should bust that beast. I haven't watched that since I bought that in a big LD lot probably about a year or two ago. So, yeah, the LDs they're totally watchable. The copy I have, but do I still have them up here? Oh yeah, they're there. It's a little awkward. Man. But I got the deluxe theatrical. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's not shiny too much. But these things were like, there's a little bit of like scuff action here, but like for a non-gatefold jacket, like everything's just tight on this thing. I was psyched about the condition. But yeah, this thing looks nice and no problems. And then I got the same lot. Somebody must have been a Das Boot fan. Got the director's cut, which again is pretty damn flawless condition wise. So jacket, but the discs have some speckling, but again watchable. But I will gladly replace those. Those things were a bitch to like do spot checking for like rot friendly, rot heavy titles. I would see if they were friendly copies. So it was like, yeah, because I had to watch like all four sides to tell if it was good or not. I was like, dear God, I think it's, oh no, that one's got rot. But yeah, looking for Pee-wee's Big Adventure on LD. Damn, I don't own that. Was there a reissue of that in the 90s? I'm trying to remember if there was or if it's just the original 80s version, which was like the same that came out on VHS. I'm trying to remember if there was like a redone version of that, but I did get it in like snapper case DVD when they did it. So maybe that was just for DVD. I don't know if there was like a special reissue of Pee-wee, but if I see the original Pee-wee and it's rot free, I'll keep you in mind. Because I haven't seen that, but I'm going to that big LD swap next week, so you never know what I'm going to find up there. So, wow, U571 Blu-ray for 99 cents. Damn. Yeah, I remember the depth charges in that was, I remember Widescreen Review and everybody on the home theater forums freaking out about those. That was, yeah, everyone did. They totally raved about it. I remember going to Circuit City. They used to be my thing back in the day. Circuit City, I'd go on release day, and they used to do a lot of lost leader sales at first. And, yeah, so I'd be like, U571, I didn't see it in the theaters, but totally got to get it. So, and, oh, nice. Das Boot, one of the first DVDs bought. Had to play it on the PC. I remember some DVDs actually came with, like, digital PC copy. There was that Terminator 2 that came with, like, a high-res copy that you had to watch on your PC. Yeah, true. Spencer's totally got it. Like that rush when you get a movie that you know is a total rotter, and that I get, like, when I get a crappy lot of comments, like most people would be like, "Yeah, that's no good," but I get excited. I'm like, "Oh, sick! It's got that in there. It's got Starship Troopers. Let's find out if it's rotted." And then if you get through that third side or whatever, and you're like, "Yes, nailed it." It's just, yeah. It's a super exciting moment. Most of the time it ends up rot. But I've actually gotten quite a few DADC rotters that are pretty clean in some lots. So it's nice. It's a delightful feeling. Still don't have a Air Force One rot free though. But I did see the video that Peter Biancardi posted where they like cobbled together a rat-free one, or they found one in Illinois. So I know there's at least one out there. Melinda's Das Boot's got some speckling too. Yeah, I can still watch it, but it's just a bit of a bummer because it's such an awesome movie. Wookie wants to know, if someone made a movie about your life, who do you want to play you? There's the people that people said I looked like, and some of them are dead. In fact, most of the people that people said I looked like are dead. Because I used to get Philip Seymour Hoffman for some reason, which I don't think I really look like Philip Seymour Hoffman. But then somebody said John Schnepp, and now he's dead. So now I'm getting what's his face, new Hellboy sheriff from Stranger Things. I'm getting that one a lot. But that's the thing, you don't want someone that kind of looks like you to play you. You want someone like way cooler. So you want like Brad Pitt or something to play you. So that's the key. But it's got to be I want Jason Momoa to play me. Man, yeah, it's a tough one. Someone cool, but not too cool. Like, it's got to be a line there. Can't be ridiculous, but can't be somebody that looks just like me. But I'll think of someone. Daniel Craig. No, not Daniel Craig. We'll get somebody good. Oh, the second Pee Wee film. Yeah, Big Top, man. That was such a disappointment when that came out. I got the soundtrack. But, I was heavy into Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I went to go see, it was before I was like a movie critic. I actually went to go see a preview that one of the local radio stations did at one of the local megaplexes. And it was with Follow That Bird was the bonus movie. Because they would always, for some reason when they did the screenings, the early screenings, it would have a free second movie. Usually whatever movie that the screening displaced, they would just let you stick around for the next screening of it. And people didn't even know sometimes. People would just get up and leave. But they were like, no, you can actually stick around. I think the last time I ever had that happen was with Miracle and the Taxi remake with Fallon and Teen Laquifa. But anyways, so I saw Pee-wee's Big Adventure and freaked out. I loved it. And just everything from the soundtrack to just the insanity of it, the Tim Burton-ness of it, and I went to go see that 4 times maybe in the theaters, and there was no soundtracks like LP, which drove me crazy. So I had to like record bits of playing the VHS like onto like a cassette from my realistic cassette recorder, and listen to that. But then Big Top Pee-wee came out. I'm like, sick, another Pee-wee movie, like slam dunk, baby, this is going to be amazing. And Tim Burton wasn't involved, or he didn't direct, and I was watching, I'm like, well, this is weird because it's already kind of like retconning some of the Pee-wee-ness already, but whatever. And I'm like, yeah, this is not so great. Yeah, all right. Whatever. The interactual DVD player for PC on the disc. Oh, yes. Nice. Spencer's got a rot-free Batman and Robin that Iceman can come with. That's still on my list. I don't have that yet. Someday, though. Oh, yeah. I never did watch the Netflix Pee-wee. Maybe I should watch that. Pure Poo, Farley says. Nice. Yeah, I did miss that altogether. But damn, Pee-wee's Big Adventure is so freaking good. That's so many just like killer moments in there. Oh, that was it. It was a sealed Air Force One they found at the swap meet, and yeah, they did like a live demonstration of it. And it was rot free. It's bastards. Someday I'll get it. What's Pete want to get? Oh, Australia. He has already. Australian Blu-ray of. What the hell was it? Deadpool? I can't see. My thing was over it. Damn it. I need to get back down here. Lower screen. Not that far. Damn it. Oh, Das Boot. Of course. And talking about Dennis Quaid. Every time I think of Dennis Quaid, I always think of a guy I used to do radio with. would always love how kind of over the top his voice was with the G.I. Joe movie, and he'd be like, "There's Joes out there." So now I can't say Dennis Quaid anymore, or else he'll say, "There's Joes out there." He's in that. Isn't he in that new like Dead Dog movie? That looks like a bummer. Strictly Sega wants Jason Lee to play him. Yeah, Jason Lee's good. I know there's like something ridiculously obvious that I'm missing, like something that I'm just like a big fan of that should totally play me. Maybe we'll go David Fincher to direct and get Ed Norton to play me or something. I don't know. I know there's someone. There's something. It's on the tip of my tongue, but it'll get me. I can totally make that 90s DVD commercial if you want. Just I know I got a copy of it somewhere. I'll totally do it. I was supposed to do a commercial narration for my buddy Seth, who's possibly still awake, for his job, for all his beloved friends there. But then they kicked him out. You know, I skipped the VCD thing altogether. I almost bought a couple because I used to see them a lot. You know, shopping in Chinatown, New York, and then hanging out in Boston. There was a lot of stores that had VCDs, and you know, being into like Japanese discs and Hong Kong stuff, like there was quite a bit. You know, and I remember like when you could get the Phantom Menace on VCD, and everyone was like, "Ooh, let's get that." But yeah, I skipped out on it. Like I saw some playback. I'm like, that looks kind of shitty, but it did seem like it was yeah, like the pre-jizz of DVD. It was like, you know, that was your chance to get this digital small disc. Though sometimes you had to have 2 discs for a long movie or whatever, which again I'm cool with on LD. So whatever, yeah. Oh, I had the Snake of Doom. Hopefully everybody's still on. Cary Grant, nice. I would definitely be down with. Yeah, actually, I wasn't even thinking about actors who have since passed on, but Jimmy Stewart, I'd be down for some Cary Grant for sure. But I'm gonna think of it something. Oh, Eric's in the house. What's going on? No, I don't have any new Criterion LDs. I was just thinking about that. Since that last batch where I got like a metric butt ton of them at once, and I've been kind of slowly going through and watching them all through, and then of course watching Dice Case videos where he's got every Criterion Laserdisc. I'm thinking I really got to get back on the stick with getting those. But there was that period where I was kind of redoing storage and reworking the room and everything. And I was like, yeah, pumping the brakes on new discs for a while. But I'd love to get some more Criterion LDs. But yeah, it's been a while since I picked up a Criterion. It's usually just like random cool things, but usually things Vinny has. I'm not sure why he's selling them because. He should be keeping them, but for some reason, like, I did watch Vinny's Escape from LA disc that he sold me, which looks great. I mean, the CGI looks like crap, but the actual disc itself looks fantastic and sounds great too. So, really don't like that movie, but it's still my least favorite John Carpenter movie. But I still had to get it, and yeah, the soundtrack kicks ass, and yeah, I mean, even the score, like. What is it? It's not just John Carpenter. It's like John Carpenter working with, was it like Shirley Walker or something like that? But yeah, I don't know. It just pales in comparison to the original Escape from New York soundtrack. But the 5.1 mix is pretty badass. I gotta get back down here. Damn it. Let's drop down here. VCDs, yeah, Criterion, LDs. Strictly Sega's, was it Diggin' Ernest movies? Nice. Hey, everybody's got to have something. If it's not the Ernest movies, it's yeah, Pauly Shore movies. I mean, that's not my thing, but there's always got to be that one thing that you like. Oh, Melinda's got some VCD releases. Yeah, that's kind of like me with my Hong Kong VHS bootlegs. Like I have like Tai Chi Master on VHS until I get the LD, and then I'm like, all right, I can pass on the bootleg VHS to somebody else now. It served its time. Yeah, I remember the Philips CDI. Oh, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, Star Trek 6. PAL VCDs, nice. Yeah, Farley's got that vinyl Pee-wee back to... Yeah, I remember when that came out. Like, Sarah Band, I think, put that out, right? It was like a split Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Back to School. But yeah, like it took a while for that to come out too. Like when Pee-wee's Big Adventure like came out, like immediately, like you couldn't go to the store and buy the soundtrack right away. Like that came out like a little bit later. So yeah, I don't know why, because it was so awesome. It was like something that really jumped out from the movie. They should have had that available. Pete wanted to know who has the Legendary Air Force. I don't know who owns it, but it was somebody that was Ryan, who's here now, was there at the event. It was one of the Peter Biancardi LaserDisc Swap meets, and somebody had a sealed copy that they figured it'd be fun to open up and test on the spot. So they made a live stream Facebook video of it. But I don't know who actually owns it or if they still do. Spencer says Harrison Ford probably. Yeah, I've got this rot-free LaserDisc. You want it? Have you seen other YouTubers doing their fast food power rankings? Be curious as to what yours look like. No, if it's YouTube and it's popular, I probably have not seen it. So what is it, like? Just ranking fast food restaurants, or is it ranking the actual like particular meals, or because a culture dog loves a Mexi Melt. So, but yeah, if it's by actual restaurant, I can work something out. We'll see. Freddie says Denzel's gonna play me. All right, I'm down. We'll get some Denzel, bringing some gravitas to the situation. All right, we have a winner. the culture dog story. Can he play bass? He could probably play bass. He could fake it, right? They got movie magic if he doesn't play bass. It'll work out. Dennis Eric, every time he thinks to Dennis Quaid, he thinks to Jaws 3D. That movie's so awesome. So much win. So much 3D quality. Between that and Friday the 13th 3D. One of my favorite. And Space Hunter and Metal Storm. My favorite 80s 3D moments. Ryan said David Hasselhoff. All right, well, if Denzel's not available, Hasselhoff might be able to pitch in. Hasselhoff is usually available. See if I can load the next batch. Bam. Yeah, those DVD magazines. I remember those. It'd be like a cover disc VCD. I remember I had some DVD magazine DVDs where they'd have like a DVD that would have. Eventually, there was like a total DVD magazine that would have a DVD like sealed at the front, but there was an actual. It was called like the VOB at first, and I want to say it evolved into something else. And I got it, and it was like supposed to be this DVD magazine. I don't know if anybody remembers the other DVD magazines that came out there. It was like really cool. There was Short, which was pretty slick, like digibook with a nice slipcase release. I don't know how many they made, at least 5. Probably like closer to 10 or so of short films. It was like a DVD magazine compilation. And I've got a couple. There's a couple sick ones. Like one's got La Jetée on there. One's got the original whatchamacallit, Sling Blade short film with Molly Ringwald, and then there's like a bunch of George Hickenlooper ones on that one too, and then one's got like a pretty interesting Henry Rollins like spoken word visual thing, and yeah, it was just cool. I bought a couple of those, and then there was a music video one called Circuit. And it wouldn't just have like music videos, but it would have like interviews and things like that. I remember there was one where Flaming Lips did like kind of similar to that Flaming Lips album that was on 4 separate CDs, and you were meant to get like 4 systems together and hit play at the same time to make the full album. But then they did something similar with you could choose like the angles and on the video on the DVD. It was just them making dumb sounds in a hotel like banquet room with like water carts and things like that. So it wasn't really much of a song, but it was kind of rhythmic or whatever, and you could choose to build like the audio and video of it however you wanted with it. So I had a bunch of those Circuit releases. There was some cool stuff, and sometimes it was just like promo fluff. Like there was, I think, some excerpts from Radiohead's Meeting People Is Easy, but then just buy the full thing. But video magazines, the VOB was like, they were usually like poorly mastered and like would like kind of crap up, like freeze up sometimes, and like the audio quality wasn't always good, but they were trying to make these video magazines, and like they would have mostly butt tons of trailers for stuff coming up. But I still have a lot of those somewhere. Oh, Strictly Sega dropped some super chatting going on. Nice. Thank you, sir. Thanks for joining the board, as always. It's cool to be able to do something on Saturday and mix it up a little bit. Just because, not everyone can do Thursday night or whatever. Farley says The Rock should play me. All right, so if Denzel's not available, David Hasselhoff can't make it. The Rock, he's in. Yeah, Jason Momoa is saying shout out to Peter. It's definitely gonna definitely happen. VCD, it's like CED but better. Oh, Dennis Quaid in that DOA remake. I haven't seen that in a dog's age. That's a classic. I haven't seen that in a while. What else? I got Undercover Blues on LD. Yeah, some Dennis Quaid vintageness. Subliminal Vibes got a bunch of VCDs. Yes. Yeah, never a contender, but it had a moment, like, right? Yeah. He's got a letterbox VCD of Dogma. It's pretty much unwatchable, especially if you zoom. Oh, yeah. Right? Ari Franklin's in the house. Cheers. Welcome aboard. Yeah. VCD. That was, yeah, it was a thing. Yeah. And then there was the other ones that were kind of cool, like D-Theater, like DVHS. There's a bunch of guys on one of the Facebook groups I'm in that are collecting those now. Because you can get Fight Club on digital high definition VHS or True Lies or something like that. That was pretty cool. That was a fun little moment, a little blip in the radar. It's a trip, like reading back. I've got pretty much a comprehensive pile of widescreen review magazines up to a certain point in the DVD era before Blu-ray dropped, and I don't even know if they do like physical print if you're not a subscriber anymore, and it's probably just all like tablet media stuff. And I'm still missing the first 2 issues. So if somebody out there somewhere has the first 2 issues of widescreen review, totally hit a brother up, and I will buy those off you. But reading them again, it's amazing because you can really just get a feel for the time travel aspect of going back in time and flowing through all the different stuff going on. And Moiki, not to be outdone, dropping some super chattage. I will buy more Blu-rays for you at Big Lots now. I'll buy another Alien Anthology box. Thank you, sir. But yeah, like seeing like how even back in the LD days before DVD was coming out, they talked about HD all the time. So people wonder why like I didn't get really that bummed out about Blu-ray coming out, because I knew when I bought my first DVD that it was outdated already. Because they like when I started buying LDs, they were talking about HD nonstop, and it was just assumed that the next actual physical media disc was going to be high definition. So DVD was just like total stopgap. And the only reason I kind of went all in on it was just because I liked the lack of chroma noise. Really, it was just like, ooh, look at those purples. They're solid and they're steady. And then that it did retain a lot of the better qualities of Laserdisc, like letterboxing and special features and everything like that. But otherwise, I totally would have waited because I knew damn straight. Like the talking about developing the blue lasers for Blu-ray, like really old '90s magazines, like. The writing was totally on the wall. So it was like there shouldn't have been a DVD. Like VHS and Laserdisc kind of like rolled together to form DVD, but like it shouldn't have even happened. It should have gone right from Laserdisc to some whatever high definition format. But yeah, you had all these weird little kind of like stopgap moments along the way. VCD, and then DVHS, which is pretty damn cool that there was high definition VHS. So that was the one like maybe everybody should have been investing in, but you just want optical discs at that point. And then DVD just took hold. Yeah, Escape from LA definitely would fare better if New York wasn't around. I mean, the vibe of Escape from New York, man. Like, how do you? I'm a sucker for New York action movies, Warriors, and especially late '70s, early '80s stuff. Even Nighthawks and everything like that. So you just get Escape from New York. And I like some of the aspects of doing a spin on that in LA, but I just didn't like that they reused the exact same structure and pretty much the exact same character archetypes and the exact same finale, etc. They would just put a little bit of a spin on it. It's like, I just want a new story. Like, I don't want to see the same thing, but with a different like icing on the cake. It was just, here's the LA icing on the same exact story, and it's like, yeah, whatever. Like the big kind of Snake Plissken gotcha moment, like it didn't really matter in this, because it was like, that was the tape moment from Escape from New York was like such a big thing. And like when he messes with Cliff Robertson in this one, it's like, who cares? Like, I saw that movie already. Like, and of course there is like a little bit of a twist on it or whatever, but it just it was just like punches that like land like that. It's just weak punch after weak punch, and the special effects sucked. And some of the practical effects like were okay, but oh my god, those CG effects were bad, which is hilarious because the effects from Escape from New York are so damn good. Like the computer effects from LA are so rough and look horrible, but the computer effects that weren't even computer effects, they were like freaking cardboard boxes and models and stuff painted with like green edges to look like vector graphics, look amazing today. Like, I never think anything really looks dated in Escape from New York. It just looks so cool. So it was like just this big cosmic joke that Escape from LA looked so trash and was dated almost immediately. Yeah, the CGI looks like a PS2 game. That's right. What else is going on here? Melinda says, don't say hipster in here. You're going to draw them in. We don't need them jacking the prices on LD. I love that. It was an Australian commercial for, I forget, it was like a Craigslist-y kind of thing. Or maybe it was something else, but it was like a guy having a tag sale, yard sale. And then all of a sudden, like, these hipsters roll up and he's like, oh, no, hipsters. And he runs into the garage and he finds like all this trash and like broken things and like old typewriters and stuff, and like rushes back out and puts these high prices on it, and the guy's like, vintage. Yeah, man. Yeah, don't want them taking over LD. Raising the prices of those rad laserdiscs. Yeah, it's true though, they are discovering LD for sure. We're going to push them into CED. Yeah, CED is the new cool thing. Are you Franklin's asking, does laser rot always have marks and dots on the disc, or can they look perfect and still be a rotter? Yeah, that's the weird thing. And the fact, even if they do have dots and marks on the disc, that's no guarantee that it won't play either. But usually American discs and Japanese discs that were pressed here, you can't see the rot. Except for I've seen some visible oxidation on 3M discs. But the big rotters that Sony made in Terre Haute, Indiana, like those look fine. Like they look perfect on the surface. So it's the weird ones, mostly PDO UK, that made the ones that would have the strange kind of like grayish discolorations, or sometimes there'd be like actual holes like you could actually like look through. Those got weird, and 3M has some like discolorations and things like that. Most of the time I found, like when I've got the 3Ms that have the discolorations, there's rot involved. But it usually acts differently. Like the most like Sony discs and stuff that I have that are rotted, the rot usually starts off at the hub like really, really bad, and usually progressively gets better as the disc goes along. But then I found that when the 3M ones, or the ones that are visibly oxidized, go bad, it's more the reverse. Because usually you can see them start to get oxidized on the outer edge instead of the hub. And there'll be movies like I've got a copy of Slugs that plays pretty good all the way through, and then starts getting rotted towards the end, or like Heathers I have, and it keeps getting worse on the way out. So yeah, it seems like 3M like rots differently. NPDO UK discs rot a little differently than the usual American rotters, or when occasionally some of the Japanese plants would go, have bad patches or whatever. Pretty much every pressing plant has had rough patches. I mean, they generally say that all Japanese discs are good and everything, but which isn't true. I've got some Japanese rotters, but just not as many. It's just that Sony's plant pressed so many like high profile movies, both for Sony Columbia and for Warner Brothers and other people too. So they get their nasty product out there so often. So they're the ones you see a lot. But yeah, if you just look at the disc, they look fine. And theoretically, the acrylic with the actual pits and lands in it is is stamped. Like, it's good. It's really just a problem with the laser reflecting and not being able to reflect back properly with the proper data, or the FM kind of wavelength properly, from the reflective layer. So theoretically, you could scan the pits and lands on the disc somehow at some point in the future, or maybe had developed some sort of laser that doesn't have as much of a problem with the bad aluminum layer, the reflective layer, or tear the disc apart and like adsorb some more reflective action on there. Like, so it's not actually the disc material itself, like the plastic rotting, and it's not actually the data going bad technically. It's just the ability to read the data that gets messed up. So yeah, like, that's why, like you say, throw out the routers and stuff, but maybe someday there's some way to do something with those routers. I don't know what, but stack them up somewhere, put them in a closet. But yeah, it's weird. It's tough because you have to just throw them in the player. If you know what something like these Das Boot discs I was showing, or like Air Force One or Eraser or something like that, you just have to throw it in the player and spot check it, unfortunately, which is tedious. And yeah, I don't like to do that as much now because I don't want to burn out my players and everything like that. But yeah, the hipsters can stay with VHS, man. See what else we got. Yeah, also was saying DVDs are still around. Yeah, man, you can't kill DVDs. It's crazy. It's funny, like, shopping at Big Lots today, like how many DVDs there are, and it's just entrenched, man. Yeah, Spencer was digging some D Theater stuff too. I know Peter Biancardi's got some D Theater action. Melinda collects those too. Hey, I wasn't hating. I'm cool with the D Theater, right? Neon Genesis Evangelion. I've seen other people's stuff, but I don't actually own them. Does my shirt say "share, y'all"? Like Cher the singer, y'all. Hey everybody, it's Cher, y'all. No, it says Overkill. I don't know, maybe I can get it in a little bit closer if you can see it. Overkill. It's a New Jersey area close to. Freddie's decided The Rock's the best player. All right, The Rock is playing me. But yeah, they're in New Jersey area, close. They played New York a lot too back in the day. But New Jersey thrash metal band, often considered robbed from being included in the Big Four. But thrash metal enthusiasts usually love Exodus and Overkill, and they've got a bit of a Motorhead kind of vibe, but just thrashier. And their singer Bobby Blitz Ellsworth has like a real kind of cool, like high pitched, crazy sound to his voice. They're real distinguished, and Dee Dee Verney's just a badass bass player. And then like they had like a bunch of thrash albums, and then they dropped this like masterpiece called Horoscope, and then they just turned into groove metal from that point on, and just discovered like this works, and just released like a steady just slew of like equally satisfactory, just kick-ass good time thrash groove metal albums ever since. So, and they're killer live. Highly recommend seeing them if they come around to your neck of the woods ever, even though they're all like 800 years old now. Derek Skull Taylor, one of their guitar players, like he actually looks like he's dead because he's just like old and thin, and his face looks like a skull, like his name says. But yeah, so it doesn't say Cher, y'all. But they have a new album out. Just came out not too long ago. And they release material like crazy. But good band. Actually, if you go to my House of Zaz page, I think my interview with Bobby. Is Bobby Blitz? I don't know. Maybe if you go to my main YouTube page, there should be a link to my House of Zaz page, which has mostly metal interviews. And I think my Bobby Blitz. Yeah, it's on there. So if you want to hear me talking with Bobby Blitz from Overkill, there's a video of it on there. Anyways. We always end up talking about metal somehow. Strictly Sega Loves Dogma, favorite Kevin Smith film. I'm tough. Yeah, I kind of like Mallrats the best, even though, that was the movie that was the studio getting too involved, and it was, Kevin Smith trying to make a John Hughes movie and failing. And that said, I'm always going to have a soft spot for Kevin Smith's Mallrats. I don't know. It's good stuff. But let's see. Rot Free Air Force One. Oh yeah, because that was one of the Australian like kind of done ones, right? There was like that and like a couple other movies that were like done properly for sale in Australia. Bill DeLeo got a copy. Cool. Maybe I'll steal it from him when I see him next week. Share y'all. Share y'all is definitely my new favorite band. What should we listen to? Share y'all. Throw it on. Yeah, Japanese Muse. Someday I'll get a Muse player. Sony Muse properly. I gotta say so. Oh, Christian Head of Horrors in the house. What's going on, my brother? What's happening? Good to see you. Just hanging out on a Saturday night for a change, getting wacky. Just because I was shopping too late last night and then decided to switch things up. But yeah, thanks for stopping in. And let's see. Moiki hates physical media. Well, I hate that you hate physical media, Moiki. Poop on you. But thanks for your gracious super chat earlier. And when you give up your LaserDisc, keep me in mind. I'll come over and visit again. Let's see what else is going on. No one will ever calibrate their TVs. Oh, man, I was just talking about that. Well, obviously, this spilled over from some talk on LaserDisc Forever and some of the other pages I'm at, where TVs are kind of too smart now. And it's also blame HDMI. HDMI is just so damn user-friendly and plug-and-play. So there's these TVs that are pretty well calibrated over the box. I mean, they're usually bright as hell. But, I mean, in terms of like color and tint and everything like that, everything's pretty well dialed in. So people are getting these TVs with motion smoothing, of course, enacted like crazy. And then you just plug in HDMI and that's it. So everything's so plug and play. There's no real reason to go digging in menus and everything like that. So yeah, nobody's calibrating nothing. So it's funny because everyone's talking about UHDs and 4Ks and stuff, but I don't think any two people are seeing the same thing because nobody's got a calibrated display. And there's a lot of Wild West calibration stuff with UHD anyways. Like, nobody really can calibrate HDR. That's funny, like, when I see so much talk about HDR, like, I often wonder, like, how much is people actually talking about properly, like, diagnosed HDR, or if they're just seeing something else, or they're just seeing like their personal settings on their TV enhancing something. But it's funny, everyone talks definitively all the time about, oh yeah, you can see that dildo on a chair in the background because of HDR. I'm like, really? Is that's definitely because of HDR, right? Like, because I missed like the HDR like at the seminar where I went down to the Ramada Inn and like learned about it for like 3 weeks in a row. But everybody seems to be like a master expert on it. Be like, that green shirt, that's because of HDR. I'm like, is it? Or is it because your set's jacked up? Like, I don't know. Yeah, Trevor was saying DVDs is the highest selling format. I've heard that from people that worked Amazon too. Like, all they do is just package DVDs and send them out. Package DVDs. So people still dig them. But yeah, you can get them cheap as hell. Like, I can get them all for like $1 or something if I want, but all day long, or 50 cents. But so sometimes I'll trip across something and I'll be like, well, I'll get it. Like, I need a pop art picture copy of Legend Director's Cut on DVD. Why not? Or, something like music related or something like that. Yeah, I'll still pick it up. See what else is going on down here. Yeah, remember DVDs when they first came out were still cheaper than LaserDiscs sometimes. But I remember that's the funny thing, because I was an LD collector, and I remember when DVD dropped, I was excited that they were like $25 a pop sometimes at Circuit City, or sometimes even 20. So I remember when I bought my first LaserDisc or DVD player, like that weekend, I was like, sick, Fifth Element, Dark City. I was just like picking up, snapping up left and right, and I blew far too much money on something like Jacob's Ladder. Let's get it. And and then once the freaking horror boom happened, I'd be like at Media Play, and I'd see all these Anchor Bay movies and like Vampiros Lesbos and all this stuff, and I'd be like, holy crap, and I'd be like, armloads of them, and I'd just think about like how cheap those things are now, which is really, it's funny like how the things that I invested in tons of money in are now worth nothing, and then the things that I thought were worth nothing. Like all my old horror VHS tapes that I ditched, I just gave to Goodwill, and now they're going for like stupid ass money online. So I should have held on to those, and I shouldn't have invested in so many horror DVDs for like 20-25 bucks a pop. Like, but at the time I was like looking at Roan LaserDiscs that were, or like Elite LaserDiscs, which were pretty pricey, and I was like, I could get Tenebrae even at a place like Suncoast or Sam Goody or something like that, where they would charge like the full MSRP, but like it was still cheaper than buying the Roan LaserDisc copy. So I was like, nice, I'll drop $30 on Tenebrae, let's do it. But yeah, once that like Circuit City Lost Leader thing started happening, I was in love. I was going all the time. And even so, it was still like 12 to 16 bucks sometimes for a new like Gladiator or American Beauty or something like that. But I would rock it like every Tuesday. I'd roll in and get a bunch of stuff. Yeah, even though I knew HD was coming. But see what else is going on. Pete recommends an Australian commercial about the drug ice because of the way it was editing. It was funny, even though it wasn't meant to be funny. All right, I gotta check that out. Stoner Sloth. All right, if that's it, I'm checking it out. What are my thoughts on the death of Kip Winger? I didn't even know Kip Winger had passed. I gotta say, I wasn't a fan of Kip Winger, but their guitar player Red Beach shredded, and I loved his custom Ibanez axe. That thing was so cool. My buddy's got one, and sadly, it's just gathering dust. He's got it hanging on his wall, and it's just sitting there. But it had the cool kind of cutaway. It's like almost a kind of BC Rich-ish. It was like a Strat copy, but it had this kind of cutaway up to the tremolo bridge, and then kind of cut back out. So it was badass looking. But yeah, Red Beach could play. That was a weird thing. It's like I wasn't a hair metal guy, like, but there were bands that I loved that could kind of toe that line, like Dokken, etc. But if they had a badass gunslinger, like I was in. Of course, George Lynch had me full in on Dokken. But like a band like White Lion, Vito Bratta, badass guitar player, and like hidden in the their cover of Radar Love was just like in on it. So yeah, Kip Winger, I wasn't into like, she's only 12 years old, like that sort of stuff. That was Winger, right? But yeah, Red Beach was a badass guitar player. So, but yeah, I mean, I didn't wish ill will on anybody involved in that stuff. So, except for the singer for the Bullet Boys. I'm just kidding. He's fine too. But yeah, I have not processed the death of Kip Winger, but I'm sure Stewart is really like torn up about it. Let's see what else is going on. Spencer needs to see some more of Fellini's later work. Fellini stuff, I've only seen like the handful of, the big hitters. And like, yeah, I just have like La Strada and 8.5, and I'm all La Dolce Vita. That's my jam. Let's see what else is going on. Don't say green in TVs. Matrix, anyone? It's funny seeing the Matrix again in theaters, a digital presentation not too long ago. I don't even remember like what color it is supposed to be. It's totally green. It's greener than green. Forget about Cher, y'all. What about Cher or Kill? Extreme death metal. Yeah, with like a little bit of like Believe in Life After Love, like auto-tune action. 4K's in the house. What's going on, my brother? Good to see you. Just chatting Blu-rays and LDs and stuff as always. What do you mean Kip Winger isn't dead? Oh, come on! I was just grieving him. Why do you troll me like that, Mikey? I was just ready to like send some condolence cards out to his family, and now you just trolled me like that. How are you gonna do me like that? Oh yeah, I saw that Milford list. There's been a couple Facebook Marketplace Connecticut ones lately. There's the one that they're all like a little overpriced, I saw, but it looked like if that's the one I'm thinking of, they looked like they were pretty nice. Like there's one guy that's got a decent amount that looks like they have some of the shrink wrap still on them and everything like that. But yeah, I was peeping that, and then the one that I went to go look at, I don't know whatever happened to that. I never heard back from the woman handling the estate sale, but we'll see. But yeah, I thought about that Milford one, and then there was a guy on eBay that's got like an auction site or something like that. That's got a stack of LDs that nobody's bought yet, and they're relatively cheap, but they're all commons too, so that's probably why nobody wants them. But there's a couple of good things in there, so I might go for that. But yeah, everybody on Facebook Marketplace wants like just a shy a bit too much for stuff. There's a couple good deals every once in a while, but it's usually like 14 LaserDiscs, $1,000, $500 for 20 LaserDiscs. Yeah. Yeah, we're talking Blu-ray, LD, share, CED, the usual. Share, y'all. Good times. And then, yeah, Moikie's trying to tell everyone that Kip Winger's dead, but apparently he's not dead. So, sorry, Winger fans, if we scared you. But, yeah, I should probably, I'll do a recap for anybody that missed because I showed the Blu-rays, like, wicked early in the game. So I'll do just, like, a quick recap for everybody that missed them, including Moikie. Since he's still awake, he earned it. But, I went to Big Lots. I went to 3 Big Lots because everybody's going nuts over the Alien Anthology and Planet of the Apes boxes that they're selling for $5. Yeah, I also want to say not a lot of Shout Factory, Arrow, or Vestron releases so far this year. Yeah, Arrow is like kind of slowed down for me lately. I'm like, it seemed like every other day I was opening my mailbox and Arrow videos in there. And yeah, same thing with the Vestron too. So on the plus side, it like gives me a chance to catch up on stuff. But yeah, it's been a little slower. But damn it. But anyways, yeah. So I hit Big Lots like crazy. Everyone's looking for the Planet of the Apes and the Alien Anthology boxes for $5. But Lost Highway for $150. Sold. But yeah, so I grabbed Legend on DVD because I need as many copies of Legend as possible because I'm a teenage girl. And actually, I was way into Mia Sarah. I won't lie, when this movie came out. So that was my jam. And of course, I did buy the Alien Anthology box, which I had, but my Alien 3 disc was glitchy and would freeze up and stuff in the first like 10 minutes of playback or so. I ended up buying the Alien Anthology box that's still got the little slip on the back. And yeah, the bookie book with all the discs inside in cheap, pressed up against cardboard style. But yeah, my disc was glitchy and I got the replacement in the Quadrilogy box, but I figured let's get it again. I got the 8 Mile Steel book, which is like one of those pop art ones, probably a Walmart exclusive originally. But gotta love some 8 Mile. Grabbed Place Beyond the Pines, $3. Some what was that? Derek Cianfrance. That's how you pronounce his name, apparently. But yeah, 2 disc or DVD copy. Keeping it uplifting. Out of the Furnace, another $3 Big Lots classic. Scott Cooper action. Unfortunately, I got burned. It's the horrible Flipper Born Identity DVD on one side, Blu-ray on the other side, but yeah, still Born Identity. And then I got these weird Warfare Planet of the Apes art cards that came in my BB-8 fell over. My iRobot Blu-ray that I picked up. Not sure what that was all about. Austin's got same anthology set. Same old fat ass quad set. Yep, I got that too. I got all the old DVD. I sold the Legacy DVD though. I should have held onto it. Ip Man 3, even though there's a big compilation you can get for like $12 with all of them. And even though everyone hates it, I got the, even though I don't have a 3D player or anything, Spider-Man 3D, but it came with the Blu-ray, so why not? Looking forward to checking out this Willem Dafoe, Paul Schrader, and Nicolas Cage, Paul Schrader directing Dog Eat Dog. There's another cheapie, and I figured that's worth taking a shot on. Love this flick as much as I love the original, even though it's a little bit different. But Werner Herzog's Bad Lieutenant, Protocol, New Orleans, yeah, sick flick. I was talking earlier, the soul breakdancing just sold me forever. And I upgraded to the 2-disc reissue of X-Men Last Stand. The double blue action. Everyone's favorite Brett Ratner film. And I'm intrigued. I'm a Ridley Scott fan, regardless if he's not doing his sci-fi stuff. But Cormac McCarthy wrote it, so I'm intrigued. But The Counselor, which I haven't seen yet, so I figured I'd grab that, and it's like the director's cut, so grabbed that, and I grabbed Independence Day Resurgence, which nobody likes either. But what the hell? Ooh, 4K got Lone Star on LD. Nice, John Sayles action. Tasty. And of course, I had to get the ID4 disc with both cuts, the extended cut. So, favorite Werner Herzog film? That's tough because he's so like all over the map. Like for every Grizzly Man, there's something else like totally different. And then there's like him like acting too, and so much stuff too. But then again, I love Nosferatu, so that's a possibility. What's the hell's what's the one with the ship? Is that Fitzcarraldo? Is that the one with the ship? That one's cool. Was that it for Blu-rays? That was it for Blu-rays. And then, just in case you guys missed it, I'll get back to Werner Herzog in a hot second. I got the Rush Working Men kind of like compilation live CD and the Twin Peaks score, because I finished watching Twin Peaks: The Return and I'm just kind of like sucked into it hardcore. And Austin's like Resurgence, mediocre sequel at best, exactly, but that's why it's a Big Lots. But I had the other counterpart CD for the Return music, so I grabbed that one. Not at Big Lots, obviously. That was an Amazon special, but Working Men Rush was Big Lots. And then because I'm going Twin Peaks crazy and picking up all the stuff that I'd been meaning to pick up for the last couple of years, and I just rocked the Return. I grabbed the Mark Frost books, the hardcovers, super cheap on Amazon. So this guy's sick. This guy's nice and beefy. And then I got the Final Dossier 1 too, which is a little bit thinner, but equally tasty. So that was it for pickups. Let me move these back over here. It was relatively lucrative. I was trying to go back and pick up the Planet of the Apes box, even though I have the previous Blu-ray set that had the individual cases. So I didn't really need the one that was like repackaged in one big kind of wide case, but I was going to pick it up for a friend. So, you're Wrath of God. That's another good one. I know I'm totally flaking on some other classic Werner Herzog stuff, but I love that he was in What Dreams May Come, like as a face, like on the way to hell, and he was like yelling at like Robin Williams to like really stomp on his face when he walked over him. Good times. What's my favorite experience in the theater? So obviously, right off the bat, seeing Star Wars when it first dropped, and just being completely blown away. And then multiple Star Wars experiences after that. I remember, even though it was the special edition that everyone hates, like the buzz over the re-release in '97, so much fun. I went to go see it like 2 or 3 times, like the weekend it came out. In fact, one of the nights I went to go see it with the guy Seth Graham Smith, who wrote Pride and Prejudice and Zombies and Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter and all that. He was going to school at Emerson with a friend of mine who I was up visiting, and we all went to the Sony Sherry Boston, saw Star Wars, and just standing in line, and it was just cool being. I'm like, dude, I actually saw this when it first came out, and I'm seeing it again, and we were just so pumped about seeing Star Wars on the big screen again that the Greedo thing didn't really sink in right away. But then there's so many other like kind of crappy moments or like grindhousey moments, like seeing like movies with like a killer crowd like that. Seeing that preview screening of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, I literally don't think I've ever laughed that hard in my life, and the entire theater was just belly laughing. And it was so much so that like I had to go see it again because I couldn't catch every joke. Like when he was going on with Francis, like in the beginning, you could only hear every other joke because everyone was just dying laughing so hard at that preview screening. It was just like the buzz in the room was insane. Seeing Raiders of the Lost Ark in the theater for the first time, that's up there. But yeah, I mean, there was just like great audience moments, like seeing Desperado on a Friday night at like 11 o'clock on opening night with just a theater of just psychos. That was great. Some of the old like Spike and Mike animation screenings at like the Brattle up in like the Cambridge area, Boston area. Seeing Fight Club for the first time, and then seeing it immediately again the next night. Seeing The Crow for the first time. Yeah. I know there's some other like real quality moments, but seeing 12 Monkeys for the first time and having that reconnect me with Vertigo, because I had seen Vertigo when I was younger and kind of forgot about it. And there's that weird thing where if you've seen La Jetée, which was the kind of short film, which isn't really a film, there's really only one moving image in it really, but it was like the series of still images, but it has this kind of reference to Vertigo in there when they're in Muir Woods and there's the tree ring and they're kind of looking at the past and everything like that, and there's a reference to that in La Jetée, and then 12 Monkeys, Terry Gilliam just kind of went full meta and then referenced Vertigo in there. And there's that scene where like Bruce Willis is kind of like obsessing over Vertigo. Like, I've seen this before, but I can't remember it, while I was having the exact same experience. And it was just like, it just totally put the zap on me. And yeah, and then that just sparked my resurgent like love affair with Vertigo. And what was the other one I was just thinking? In the Mouth of Madness. When I saw In the Mouth of Madness for the first time opening night, really really late, because I was younger then, so I would go see movies the later the better all the time. So what was it about talking about Herzog being in Days of Thunder 2? I missed that. You walk into a thrift store and see the Cell on Laserdisc. Do I keep it or sell it? All right, we'll get back to that in a second. All right, hold on, Mikey. But yeah, so In the Mouth of Madness, I go see it, and it ends, obviously, with a cinema reference, but it's like a kind of another meta moment where you've been watching the movie, or the characters watching the movie that you've just been watching, and then, it's kind of gone crazy or whatever, spoiler alert. And then the lights went up, and the place was gone. Like, it was deserted. It was like late enough that apparently everyone's like, who cares? The last people watching the movie can just see themselves out. So it's like, but I was alone in the movie theater, and I got out. The entire theater was empty. Like, nobody at the popcorn place, nobody at the ticket place, nobody came into the theater to clean it up. Nobody was in the place, and the parking lot was empty. And I'm like, oh, yeah, this is weird. Like, it might be in Hobbs End or something like that. That was one of my favorite cinema moments. But yeah, I'm sure there was lots of them going back in time too. Yeah, seeing everything cool in the 80s and everything like that. But so that's a pile of them. But anyways, all right. So I walk into a thrift store. I see the Cell on Lasers. So I keep it or sell it? I keep it. I don't sell it. Because I actually, that movie's like a mess, but it's a real kind of fascinating mess and like beautiful, and the Tarsim kind of self-indulgent art house kind of BS stuff in there. Like, it was interesting enough. It was a weird flick. It was like half Criminal Minds-y, like Silence of the Lambs-y, and then half total art house nonsense. And yeah, I got a soft spot for it. Plus, it's got like some Ralph Bakshi nods in there, and it's got some moments. It's weird. It's like, yeah, like if somebody took Silence of the Lambs to a really pretentious art installation. That's what you get. But I would keep it for sure. So I would not sell. I think that was an old question, so sorry it took me a while to get to that. Jack reads your Herzog should be in Days of Thunder too. More people talking crap about Independence Day sequel, probably rightfully so. What was it like when you first watched the original 2001 Blu-ray on your projector? Yeah, that was pretty badass. 2001, I mentioned before, I've had some weird kind of experiences with 2001, because the first time I saw it, sadly, was on television. My dad used to talk about it all the time and how it kind of influenced him. Like, his dad took him, my grandfather, but my grandfather didn't really like it, but my dad was like blown away, especially by the model work and everything, and just, seeing it on the big screen. And the first time I caught it was on, I don't even know if it was cable or just like network TV. They were showing it. And I remember like this was like, I was young-ish. It was 80s. And I was like, I'm going to be cool. Like, I'm going to be into the thing the adults are into. So I'm going to be into 2001. Like, no matter if it's good or not, I'm going to be into this because this is what the adults like and it's sci-fi. So I'm like, all right. And then, to my surprise, I'm watching it. I'm like, well, this is actually kind of cool. Like, well, this is kind of interesting. There's this mystery going on. I'm like, oh, like I was expecting to like just kind of be a poser pretty much and be like, yeah, I love me some 2001. But everyone else was talking about how difficult a movie it was and everything. But it actually was like drawing me in. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Space stuff going on. There's a mystery. And, I liked, Haywood's character. Like, it was cool. Like, it wasn't bad at all. And, it got weird and everything. I don't think I understood it when I first saw it. But I was like, I'm down with that. And then just really kind of started revisiting it again on LaserDisc. And then I saw it on 70 millimeter, and it was a 70 millimeter print that had gone pink. And it was great. It was big. It was detailed. But it was such a disappointment because I was like, I'm finally seeing 70 millimeter 2001 Space Odyssey. And it was paling in comparison to my LaserDisc. So I actually went home and I watched the MGM anniversary box set LaserDisc the very next day on my 43-inch Sony RP-TV, like 4:3, to wash the taste of the 70 millimeter screening out of my mouth. And then I did see another 70 millimeter presentation much later that was much better, and I've seen digital presentation for like Fathom events and things like that. So I've seen it numerous times again, but seeing it on Blu-ray was another mixed bag because I had a friend that was doing a podcast and he was assigned movies. So he had my, in fact, I think he still has my 8.5 DVD because I gave that to him and I got it on LaserDisc anyways, but because he was assigned that, and he was assigned 2001 and had never seen it. And I'm like, well, I got it on Blu-ray, dude. Let's fire it up on the projector and come on over. And so, yeah, he came over, but I was going to invite my dad over because he, loves it. And another buddy of mine that used to run a lot of the critic screenings I would go to came over. And my wife was there, who's not a fan of the film. And it's funny because it just derailed quickly because one of my buddy that from the movie screenings was like, oh, I remember this now. I did see this. It sucks. And then everyone just started my other buddy who was like assigned to watch it is a bit of a wiseacre. So it didn't take much urging for it to kind of derail into like a piss fest, like kind of riff tracks moment. So they were MST3K'ing the movie for the rest of it out. But all along, everyone was like, hot damn, this is beautiful. They're like, this movie sucks, but if it's not the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen. So everybody was tripping on the HD quality, even though I know a lot of people don't even like that Blu-ray anymore. But yeah, it went over well and then poorly at the same time. Do I remember a movie where the sound blew me away? Mostly some of the killer. Like I remember there was a period I was mentioning in one of my previous videos, like how I was like sensitive to sound in the early 80s, like a little punk. Like I remember when I saw Dune in the theaters, I was like, it's too loud. And like my dad's like, what do you mean it's too loud? Like how can it be too loud? But I think it just didn't have enough bass. It was just like real high end. But yeah, when I used to live in LA and I used to go to the Universal Cineplex, like they used to have pretty badass sound in there. Seeing like The Game in there and not killer movies, but like Conspiracy Theory. And I remember seeing Heat in the theaters, and the sound design and the execution of it really blew me away. I'm trying to think of like something where like the surrounds really kind of like drew their attention. But I mean, I used to sit like in the same spot, like the dead center and the last row of the pre kind of like stadium riser section in the cinemas I used to go to all the time in the 90s. So I used to like listen at the same location all the time. So I remember a lot of things kind of jumping out at me overall as like kick-ass sound. But trying to think of some other like whoa like total moments. But I mean, there's the sheer decibel intensity of seeing like something like Batman Begins in IMAX. I know Andy Summers, our YouTube buddy there, he doesn't like Limax as he calls it. So perhaps I was wrong to be impressed by the intensity of the decibels. But dude, seeing the Metallica Through the Never movie in IMAX or like fake IMAX or whatever was insane, because it actually felt, because I've seen Metallica live a number of times, and I couldn't believe that the intensity and the punch of the bass, so like the kick drum, sounded just like a Metallica concert in a theater. And I was like, holy crap. So that definitely stuck out at me. But yeah, I was always bummed when I get to a movie and like the sound was too quiet. There used to be a lot of those cases where the old ladies would go out and complain and the manager would actually like turn down the sound. I remember Terminator Salvation having a like insane sound mix, and I remember like being like pretty much deaf. That one, was it Resident Evil, the second movie? I remember seeing like a really loud like exhibition of that too. But like, yeah, sound mix wise, I remember just heat, like just the vibe of it just kicked my ass. Oh, 4K almost got to meet Abel Ferrara. Nice. Oh man, I don't own Miss 45. I gotta get Miss 45. I did a screening of Pasolini at Miss 45. I'm bummed. He's an interesting character. I remember watching the some of like the weird documentaries and stuff on him, like all the Arrow videos. Like I liked the thing with him chilling out with Christopher Walken on the Addiction Blu-ray, and the Driller Killer Blu-rays got those like weird, like there's at least one weird documentary about him. Like there's a big Italian festival like by his house in New York where he was just hanging out, and it's just this documentary of him hanging with his homies, and like Matthew Modine will ride by on a Segway randomly, and like, and of course Abel Ferrara is always hanging out with some young girls and stuff like that, and like he knows everybody, and he's just a total character. Yeah. And then there's the Addiction also had like a good one of him like editing the movie or whatever, and it's just like kind of a moment in Abel Ferrara's life. And yeah, I'm a sucker for his stuff. But yeah, I need to get Ms. 45. That's like one of the only ones I'm missing like out of his stuff. And I don't have the that Body Snatchers remake he did. I got to get that on the LaserDisc. Oh yeah, Tomorrow Never Dies in DTS. Oh dude, Titanic 70mm DTS. Yeah, that was an event. That was sick. Seeing, I don't know if people don't like the Vertigo restoration audio, but I have a soft spot for it. I loved hearing that in the theaters. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Yeah, let's move on down. Yeah, I've seen some 70. I know Boston's got some great stuff. My buddy Matt is always seeing stuff in 70mm in Boston. My kind of big art house place in Hartford, Connecticut has 70mm capability, and so 2001, Lawrence of Arabia. I used to see Baraka every year in 70mm. They'd always bring back that print for Christmas. Like Baraka was the official Christmas movie of that theater. So I've seen that a bunch of times. That's hot. That's crazy in 70mm. But yeah. It'd be nice to be able to see more of that stuff. I'm really bummed I didn't get to see the Super Panavision 70 Inglourious Bastards, or not Inglourious Bastards, Hateful Eight road show, but it didn't play anywhere near me, sadly. But 4K would love an autograph and Driller Killer. Oh yeah, King of New York Blu-ray. Driller Killer. So I just love that it starts off with that disclaimer that it's got to be played loud, and just so much of it is just like really just like his life. Like it's all like people he knew, like, and just rocking out, like playing noise rock, and like I just love that scene where he's got the drill in the apartment, and there's the super skinny girl is hanging out with him, and she's like, he's like, where do you want it? Here? No, here? And you think it's gonna be some like crazy drill scene, but it's not. It's just he's domestically drilling a hole for her. Like, how about here? No, here. But when it does it, you just start killing people with the drill. It's badass, man. That would be so cool. But yeah, I'd love to get the steelbook of that. I just got a pre-production demo or promo copy that Arrow sent me, but I'd love to actually get the physical of that. It'd be cool to have him sign that. But yeah, man, Bad Lieutenant, man, that's up there, and yeah, the addiction was cool, and I don't know. I think I just came to the within a couple of years ago. I came to the realization I dig Abel Ferrara movies, and his Miami Vice episodes were badass too. So that's why I was like, he seemed like he was a crazy man, and he was like, like a total eccentric, like impossible to work with, but he is contained at times, and he like seems to, I don't know, so it's like, it's weird, there's this energy about him. You seem like he'd be like a guy that would tire you out if you were hanging around with him all the time, because of his energy and his intensity and everything like that. But I don't know, but then some of his stuff is kind of restrained in the way. Oh yeah, the Funeral, dude, I love The Funeral too. Anyways. Let's see. Must be talking about the Arthur C. Clarke books. I only read, I think I had 2061, but I never read it. I only read 2010 and 2001. And 2010, I'm an apologist for the Peter Hams movie. Movie's too loud to someone at the theater. They're too old for the movies. Just how I said. Yeah, so I was like, 12 years old, and I was too old for the movies. It was just a weird thing. My friend's kid was the same way too. He was like, didn't like loud stuff, and like, it was like, too bad, because I'm in a rock band and we're playing in your basement on Sunday mornings. This is happening. But yeah, there was that one period, and I think it was mostly because it was like a lot of shrill noises and things like that, and I got over it pretty quickly. And what are we talking about? Lots of Arthur C. Clarke stuff. But yeah, I remember my dad reading 2061. He's like, eh. And then I was like, oh, I guess I'll check it out. But I didn't actually read it. The guy says IMAX is lame. He doesn't prefer VHS. But he gets weird. Like, he has Blu-rays and UHDs, but he also throws them in the cat box all the time, mostly because of the sound mixes. He hates near-field sound mixes. But he doesn't rock VHS at all. He only goes as far back as LaserDisc. But yeah, I think it's all sound related. There's something about the sound. He doesn't like Atmos either. Or he kind of likes it, but he hates the way the remixes are done, especially like old movies. So he was just complaining a lot about how there'll be stuff in like overhead rear surrounds and stuff that are obviously like anchored to the screen in front of you. So it's like, that sort of thing. Worst cinema experience? I've had a few. I went to see that disco movie that was about a big nightclub, and the sound was out of sync in the picture. Yeah, I've had a couple bad audience moments. Like, I've had like the old people that don't stop talking. I've had the young people that don't stop talking, but old people like really think they're watching Law and Order on their televisions when they're behind you in theaters. And I've walked out of a few movies because of the audience, where it didn't work out, and it was just but I mean, a good rowdy audience, like I said, is awesome. Normally, you get the Last Dragon experience. But yeah, seeing something like Desperado with like a crazy rowdy audience was awesome. But yeah, sometimes it just like doesn't work. Yeah, you got some old people like asking questions. I remember it was After the Sunset, and they're like, oh, this is James Bond, right? No, this isn't the new James Bond movie. Yeah, but he's James Bond, right? Well, yeah, but this is not the new James Bond. So this is the new James Bond movie? Oh. Yeah, 2010, as strange as sequels go, yeah, but it had that like futuristic element. It's got Helen Mirren, right? Which is cool. John Lithgow was like the man in the early mid 80s. Like anything John Lithgow. Yeah, I was in love with Roy Scheider. I was in love with Bob Balaban. Dude, I wasn't in love with Bob Balaban, but I was in love with Buckaroo Banzai. So around that period, post like World According to Garp, like anything John Lithgow was like totally cool. Twilight Zone, the movie, like he was just on fire. So he's in it. Helen Mirren, and it was like, 2010, hanging around, and it had the promise of like the futuristic house with it, like between that and Brainstorm. Those were like the movies that like really fueled my futuristic imagination, like in the early 80s, like just the kind of early 80s kind of futuristic corporate architecture that was going on a lot in Brainstorm, like that stuff. There was a lot of that stuff in my neck of the woods, and like just really triggered me. and like the recumbent bicycle. And then 2010 had that like freaking like pool in his living room with the dolphin in it. And I'm like, yup, I'm gonna have a pool with a dolphin in my future. This is happening. Oh, dude, Maison Otaku's in the house. Is it Mike? Is it Mike or is it Justin? Let's find out who it is. Nice. I don't have a soda, but I'll raise a water to you. Nice. Yeah, 2010 was slow, but I don't know. I dug it. Yeah, the vibe. The characters were cool. Had that badass score. Yeah, the Russians and Americans. You got to work together, man. That's how it goes. Yeah, I'm dying to get that AC3 reissue LD. I got to pick that up sometime. Yeah, I remember I bought the. There was like a. It wasn't like a full magazine or something, but I bought the old souvenir guide for 2010 when I saw it. Yeah, they thought that was going to be it. And everyone's like, who's making a sequel to a Kubrick classic? Pete's saying, yeah, I know that a lot of people don't like 2001, but and yeah, I kind of get that it's not everyone's cup of tea for sure, but yeah, I love it. Oh, it's Mike. All right, cool. Raises water, excellent. Glad you guys are back on air. If you're into anime, do yourselves a favor and check out Maison Otaku. Check out the channel. They dig into everything, history and specials on creators, specific creators, just about everything you want. Awesome channel. They put a butt ton of work in it. I know, like, I do a half-ass job at like post-production next to those guys, so I know Mike slaves over that computer like nobody's business. So yeah, they put a lot of effort into their stuff, and yeah, kicks ass. Oh man, my battery's running low. I probably should have brought up my plug. I guess it is almost the 3-hour mark. I feel bad with some people like stopping in just now finally though. I usually try and cap it around 3 hours, and everybody complains after the fact because they have to watch a 3-hour live stream. But yeah, 2001 totally didn't need a sequel, but yeah, I don't know. I got a soft spot for it. Any love for Body Parts with Jeff Fahey? Hell yeah, Body Parts with Jeff Fahey. I did sell my 4:3 LaserDisc though, because I want to hold out for a widescreen one. But yeah, man, we were talking Jeff Fahey a couple weeks ago. He was just like super freaky looking back in the day, and then now he's just like kind of cool looking. Like once like Lost came around, I was like, he's all grizzled and like his eyes don't look like terrifyingly blue like Meg Foster. Like that should have been like Meg Foster and Jeff Fahey would be like in a crazy mega blue eye stare off. But yeah, Body Parts. That was my jam. Good stuff. Yeah, I'd definitely pick up a Scream Factory of that. Yeah, Maison Otaku with the shameless plug. Yeah, definitely. You guys like anime? Go over there. Start once I get off the air shortly when my battery dies on me. Go hit that up. But yeah, I think I still have my 2010 book. I had the original first hardcover of that kicking around somewhere. I hope I didn't give that to Goodwill, but I might have because I'm an idiot. But yeah, Body Parts. There was that series of movies with that similar kind of vibe going on. There was like the killer eye in the second segment of John Carpenter's Body Bags. There was Blink kind of had some of that action going in there. Like, you never get a body part from either a killer or anything like that. Or, all going back to the Frankenstein, Abby Normal brain. But yeah, good stuff. But yeah, 2010. I need, if anyone's got that AC3 LaserDisc, or maybe I'll see it next week. I'm trying to start getting AC3 LDs, like late release or late-ish release reissues before they start, like people start realizing they're cool. Maison Otaku actually is digging 2010 more. I mean, yeah, if you're kind of coming at it from a certain perspective, 2010 is a pretty solid early 80s Cold War sci-fi, adventure thriller kind of thing. Like, it's not bad, and it's got a lot of good, like Apollo 13-ish, like kind of problem solving stuff, and Ray Scheider's like damn charming, and like Bob Balaban's badass in it. John Lithgow really makes a mark, and who was the other Russian guy, the hyperventilating guy that was like always freaking out? At least I think he was. Or was it John Lithgow that was hyperventilating? Either way, but it was like the cool Russian guy. I forgot the actor that played him, but yeah, Helen Mirren in action. Yeah, I saw it in the theaters and I dug it. Somebody who's super talented should make Kubrick's Napoleon. Yeah, but everyone will still complain anyways, because anyone that like dances too close to Kubrick, people get twitchy. So, like I said, I always like Kubrick way more than I like his acolytes, because people get a little too like you can't even discuss them almost, like unless you just like Kubrick was amazing. He was much better than Cats. I want to see him again and again. Like that's all you can say. Oh, Sharpen Up the Knives is a Laser Craze ex-employee. Nice. You wouldn't happen to be the Laser Craze ex-employee I ran into up Cape Cod way a couple of years ago, would you? Or maybe one of the other ones. But yeah, I used to rock Laser Craze, Newberry Street, back in the day. Yeah, I'd hit the used bin. I think that was up on the second floor. Get some Japanese imports. Still have some Laser Craze discs right behind me. Man, that was my place. Yeah, of course I would hit anything with Laserdisc, but yeah, Laser Craze was my favorite. I would make special trips to Boston just to go there. And had a good time. Yeah, can't go wrong with Roy Scheider, right? He's just so watchable. Like just that early scene at the. Oh, nice. All right. I've been meaning to get in contact again because I want to get some LDs. And I remember you were saying it was the same gentleman I was talking to that you had a bunch of stuff still that I could pick through at some point. So, summertime is definitely the best time. If you still have some LDs for sale, I'll definitely come up to the area and stop by over the while the weather's still good. Yeah, Scheider is badass. 52 pickup is the shiznit. 7-ups, yep, good stuff. Yeah, he's just got that attitude, that vibe, and he works like good. Like him and like Bob Balaban and like worked good off of each other. Like or like him and John Lithgow work good off each other. Like kind of like him and Dreyfuss working good on each other. Oh. Mason Otaku was giving a shout out to Kenny Lauderdale's channel. All right, cool. I will obscure anime bullshit. I'm down with that. I'll check it out. All right, cool. All right, well, we'll get in touch and make a road trip. We'll do some LD action for sure. And, good chance to get some ice cream at Sunday school and stuff like that. Hang out for a weekend or something like that. Not at your place. You don't have to host me there. I'll go find myself a place to stay. But yeah, I'll get in touch for sure. Next disc in Strictly Sega's Unwatched pile is Cadence with Martin Sheen and Charlie Sheen. Has anyone seen it? I don't think I have. I do remember that, though. I remember seeing the trailer for that, if I remember. Yeah, all that jazz. They're doing, somebody's doing a remake of that, aren't they? Who the hell's doing Bob Fosse in that? Or it's a TV show, isn't it? But yeah, my wife's a big fan of that. She's got the DVD. I've watched that a few times. It's a tough flick for sure. But I mean, yeah, he just crushes into that. Scheider's just the man. He should be in more movies, but he's not in any movies really anymore. But yeah, he's just brought that extra mojo and yeah, kicked ass in Jaws flicks. What's going on? Oh yeah, the comics like the ankle takes a lot of concept. Yeah, I've heard that he Jodorowsky like used a bunch of the stuff from Dune and just threw it in the ankle, and there was a few other ones that just kind of repurposed them. So I've been meaning to pick those up. It's on the list for sure. Yeah, FX biopic, that's it. But yeah, who's playing Fosse though? I forgot. It was like somebody good though, but yeah, Cadence, decent little military comedy. All right, cool. I'll fire that. I do remember seeing the trailer for that when it was coming out. Oh man, looks like the battery's running low. Next time I'll actually bring up the power strip like a knucklehead. I didn't. But yeah. Also, Austin wants the B-list cable classic, The Sweeper. Jeff, he's the cop father in the first 10 minutes. Nice. So yeah, 3 hours. So I guess we'll shut it down for the night. But Sam Rockwell, that's it. So, all right. Thanks, Spencer. I knew you'd have the info. But yeah, thanks for everybody for chilling out tonight. I didn't know if I ever want to be out and about on the town on Saturday, but I thought it might be an opportunity for some people that don't normally get to check out the Thursday night streams to hang out for a bit. So yeah, cheers to everybody, and yeah, cheers for the super chats. And as always, talking laserdiscs and Blu-rays and stuff. Always having a good time. So, cheers to everybody for stopping in. And I don't know what night. It'll probably be like Friday night again next week as usual. But we got some like holidays and stuff coming up, and my schedule's starting to get a little crazier. So I might move it back to Thursdays for a bit. But in any case, cheers. Good night, Maison Taco. And hopefully you guys have a kick-ass Mother's Day tomorrow, or just a kick-ass day in general, and enjoy the rest of the weekend. And we'll catch you on the flip side. Cheers, everyone.